We thank you for this time to come before you and before our fellow neighbors and citizens, and we ask that you be upon us in our works and in our drive. We thank you for all you do in our day in, day outs, and we ask that you be with us in the days to come and the weeks to come. Be with all of us that we love and cherish. Thank you for all you do for us each day in our walks. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Commissioner Meadows.
Here.
Mayor Jones. Here. Commissioner Coger.
Present.
Commissioner Brown. Here. Commissioner Perry.
Present.
And both attorneys. Okay, we're gonna start with public concern. Well, do you wanna, you sure? Okay, we're gonna start with public concerns tonight. All we ask is that you stand at the podium so our audio doesn't miss what you're saying. And I don't have the list. You can look at it. Whitney, do you wanna go first? Sure. I mean, you're first on the list, right?
Okay, so I'm Whitney, Misfits on Main, and our concern is parking, obviously. It is an issue really bad in Stamping Ground, not just for our business, but for everybody's business. The issues that have come to everyone's attention here lately, it's nothing we can fix. It's nothing any of our neighbors can fix. And we need to be in it together to make this happen for everyone. Our business is growing rapidly. And, we moved to a bigger spot for the space for our clientele, for, new stylists. So we are growing. And when our clients come, they don't know where to park. There is no animosity, that we are trying to bring to Stamping Ground. There's no harsh feelings that we're trying to have with anybody in Stamping Ground. We simply just want to tend to our clients and their needs and do what we've continued to do for 2 years now. And we've enjoyed being here, but our main concern is obviously the parking, and it's an issue that goes beyond just our business, affecting our business. It's affecting our relationships with other people in Stamping Ground. So that would be our main concern. Thank you.
Okay, solution. I'll speak to that a little bit. From Wood Lake Road to the end of town, there's 18 actually available spots. They're not really highlighted as such, but I've talked to Megan a little bit about when the crew comes in to do the painting and stuff, to make sure that we get all the spots highlighted and so everybody knows that it's actually a parking spot. And then there's another 12 spots from Wood Lake to the restaurant up there that can be also highlighted as available parking. So there's actually 30 spots right here downtown that aren't typically used. Like I say, typically used, like there's like 3 for the liquor store, and I usually steal online over here and so on and so forth. Without those in the equation, there's still 30 spots available out there. So it might be easier for people to park if they know it's actually parking.
Just like that, and Mulberry to Locust Point, you can park there too. This is state road. It's open park. It doesn't matter. There's no time limit that I know of, like the ordinance, the 15-minute sign that we have. I don't even know if that's even, we can't even enforce it.
Yes, that was actually passed and approved by the city commission, so it is.
It's in our ordinance for them to read it, but.
Our ordinance says, the ordinance says at any time that you can approve, the city can approve a marked space and sign, and they can put signs up or just paint the curb, and they did both over here. They painted it white and put a sign. And that's in the parking regulations under chapter 72.
So 15 minutes on it, if it's marked. Anything else? All day.
At some point in the future, there is somebody coming in to do line painting and stuff.
Is there any time frame on that by chance?
He's here to talk to you, so.
Okay, great.
I haven't gotten it yet, but we're trying to get some numbers together just to see what all it's gonna take, because this is a state road we have to work today.
That would be another concern of ours in front of our salon, us and the girls have been parking away from the salon now. In order to accommodate to our clientele. They still get confused because there's blue lines, which some know that is handicap parking, some know that's not. And, some will park there, some won't. We don't really know what to tell them. I don't know if it's supposed to be there. I don't know.
It is, and we've ordered a sign for it.
Is there any way, is it supposed to be shortened by
Well,
one?
that's one of the things, because I've talked to multiple people about it, and like, going by measurements, said 18 feet-ish is about like the size of a Tundra. But if you have a vehicle that has a rack on the back to hold like a scooter or something, that's what makes it longer. But my thing that I would bring up to maybe them, if they're okay with it, is that you can almost closely get two vehicles there, but the front end of somebody's might be in the blue. Like, could we avoid giving somebody a ticket if their nose is sticking in the blue, but not completely just blocking handicap? Like, I don't want, like, the reason I don't want to take that one is because that one is a straight shot to get here.
Correct me if I'm wrong, I was looking up some stuff on handicap parking. And it said that if you have 1 to 100 spaces, that every 25 is supposed to be handicap. Is that correct?
That,
Yes, it was, it's, that actually talked to Scott County about
Probably
it,
not.
and they said 1 to every, like, up to 25, you're supposed to have at least.
We probably have to adopt it.
yeah, we don't have that specifically in our ordinance. I will say to that though, one issue I have with, there's a couple of issues. One, when we did this sidewalk walkthrough, the most dangerous piece of sidewalk in our town is that right there where the mailbox is, because it has such a rise on it for handicapped people. And I'll just point out this, just going down through the active business we have, Moon, down where Moon is, there's 4 business slots there. None of them are handicap accessible. Even that ramp is not built to ADA. Next door, there's 3 businesses. None of those are handicap accessible. Our own city hall is not handicap accessible. That's not the code, and there's a lift back there around back where the police station is getting the door. Next door, the cabinet place, you gotta step down and get a liquor store, you gotta step up. There's no place. The only 2 businesses we currently have open that you get a wheelchair in are theirs and the Yuppie Puppy. And then take away from that, if you were to open the door of the Masonic Lodge, the whole reason that handicap was put there to start with, there was a $35,000 chairlift there on the stairs for that very reason, because they have disabled people that use that building. So moving that thing or reducing the amount of things we have here, we hope to start using the businesses down here, but we can't do that. We'd have to leave that handicap down there, but we still need the one up here. I will say this in all fairness, for reading these, we might want to revisit the 15-minute in front of Yuppie Puppy, because our ordinance says that you can't have any signs or any stopping in an area that has a handicap ramp. And when you read about those, the way it reads in ours, you read about what that's talking about, decreased curbing is a handicap access. And that sign's right in the middle of decreased curbing. So I don't know if that's legal, maybe something for our attorneys to look into.
I thought about that too, because of the way the ramp, the curb is, that is wheelchair accessible versus stepping up on the curb where the blue is in front of our shop. So I thought that kind of went in together or something.
It is, but I'm saying by ordinance, it says you can't stop at any place that has those type of things. You can't stop, park even to 15 minutes and go in. By ordinances, the attorneys can look at it more, but you can't stop there and leave your vehicle, get out of your vehicle, and go in, because that then decreases the amount of room the handicap person has.
We also got things, we got a house next door to us, the mailbox needs to be addressed. I mean, you gotta be able to get to the mailbox.
I guess one question I would pose to the city address the commission, now that we have employees parking around back, do we need 2 spots out here? Do we have that much business during the day? Do we need 2 spots?
I like it. I like where you're going with it.
That would free up another spot nearby at least.
Yeah, I like that.
I thought that was supposed to be, I thought that had been agreed upon in the past mission, that one of those spots was handicap.
I think they said that those are thinking, but they never marketed it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I see people park on the other side of the street all the time and come to the city hall, so
Oh, okay.
I don't think,
So you probably see more than we do. You're being down.
I don't think city hall actually needs a spot.
Not that need a restriction for it.
Yeah. I would keep I would keep the wheelchair spot just in case somebody needs to, and then 3 use up.
I think that's a good.
I think it's a good idea. We could,
Yeah.
let's make a motion.
I motion that these are no longer devoted, these 2 spots out front are no longer devoted to City Hall. And that, we keep the wheelchair spot down the street.
And the signs.
Oh, yeah, yeah, we were just saying.
The sign,
I'll second.
Megan seconded.
All those in favor?
That helps some, maybe.
Yes. Oh, anything.
And we do, like we told you before, that is gonna become city parking as well, right over here on the other side of this building. That should open up
That's really helpful.
and give.
And we'll continue to park away from the salon. That's never been an issue for us. We just, without clear signage or how things painted and stuff chipped in, you know, everybody's doing whatever they want. I mean, that's just unfortunately, and the businesses are the ones suffering for it. So, yeah, I think if, the paint can be repainted, signs can be properly placed, we'll continue to park away from the salon, no problem. And hopefully, is there a time frame on the parking?
Down there, we have,
We discussed it, yeah, we're just trying to get going.
I don't necessarily, probably won't be no overnight closing, then.
Yeah.
So we don't get somebody camping out, or somebody living around here.
And if you do weekend type appointments, one of our vein of thought was that would also be utilized for people that rent the facilities around back, so it might have a parking.
Yeah, we're only open on Saturdays by
Okay.
appointment only, so it's a hit or miss on who's there and when we're there. And because the town hall, city hall or whatever, the parking was only Monday through Friday. We tried to let our clients know the best that we could, that you could utilize that parking on the weekends. But getting it out to where everybody knows what's going on is the difficult part.
Well, let's state this though, we need to watch the roads coming out, how close we get to the parking spots. So like Spring Street, for instance, I don't know what there has to be a certain amount of clearance.
Well, once you get the surveying over there, we can probably figure out better things for that. Good deal.
Well,
Have any other?
Well, there are 2 spots.
Yeah.
Two more than what we had earlier.
Any other public concern? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
no, I was gonna say, I think the painting is gonna help with a lot.
Do you all have any suggestions on, we've used social media, we've used, you know, when they come in, there's still so many clientels that don't utilize social media and don't see a certain post. Is there any suggestions that you would have in order for us to let them know in a more efficient, kind manner where and how to park when they come to visit?
You have automated text message.
Hey, girl. Yeah.
I sent
The,
out text messages with their appointment, tell them we're here.
On Booksy, the first message or whatever.
Yeah, I tell them like.
We can advertise it on, that we opened up 2 new spots in the city hall. We can put that on Facebook, on our website, we removed it. But
We need to skip
I
some.
don't necessarily know if we can direct your business where to park.
Yeah. But you can tell
I
them,
think she came up with a plan.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you can just tell them in your in your blast that you send out to them, you just say there's plenty of on-street parking available. And they can, it's up to them to kind of find the spot that fits their needs.
And hopefully here soon. I mean, like I said, the signs are ordered. I'm just waiting on them to be completed and have them put up.
Did you order a handicap?
I mean,
Will that handicap sign go in front of our shop? The,
it'll go, I guess, yeah,
both, both of
right, yeah,
them?
right in front of them. Blue.
Yeah, I think people are more prone to looking at the sign versus the paint.
Most of the time, whenever you see the blue line, you see a sign, so I can see why some people were confused by.
And we do have limits on, which Commissioner Brown found out when we do mark off the spaces, we can't necessarily mark a true, width wise out into the state highway.
Mhm.
That's why when I painted that down there, for Rob's Liquor Store, for certain, I couldn't go past certain dimensions out into the roads. That's why it's really kind of odd to see what it is at a hash mark, is that same where my parking space is, but,
Yeah, I pulled some of that paperwork up today. There's a lot of numbers that you go.
and that's the sad thing about living on state highway. We have a lot of limitations. We can't go above and beyond.
Who are we gonna get to take the signs down?
I haven't seen the
No, take down the signs.
these signs. I guess maybe we can include that whenever we find somebody that wants to do it, just ask them if they can tack those two on.
I'm just saying, so we get it done.
Yeah.
I guess we put a bag on it, so we get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just screw onto the post, so maybe we could just take the sign part off.
Leave the post.
To be honest, they'll probably need to be cut off, cutting towards where you're sitting there.
Are they in
And
concrete?
capped with concrete, just so it won't be a trip hazard.
Well, I mean, we'll have to address it, with to resolve it, we put trash bag over it, man.
And it's kind of good because those are not, approved by the state because they're not breakaway signs. They're kind of a danger you can have anyway. So.
What was that, a crosswalk? Main Street?
That's a state issue.
Oh, sure.
Because we get asked that all the time, like at the Christian church, but that's definitely, the state has to do that. The state comes down, they set up these points where they meter traffic going through.
Mhm.
Last time we called and asked about a couple of things like that. They're like, yeah, but you know, if we get a traffic volume of this, you might lose your speed limit. It might go from 35 if we allow 45-mile-an-hour traffic through there. And so it's a big issue when you start looking on that. But yeah, that's definitely state has to do that.
John, how many people do, with that new camera thing you got, how many people we get on Main Street one day, roughly? If you can do it one day.
In a 2-day span, it was just under 4,000 cars. It went both directions.
I say about 50 of them was me going through count signs.
No, that's only, those a certain speed though, right?
Well, that's the total number of cars.
Okay.
I would ask one thing, since this is a divided highway, state law and our own ordinances, when your people come, I know a lot of people parking with their headlights on this side of the road pointing that way, that's against the law. They need to turn the car around. I don't know if the police have seen that and had to address
I
that.
have seen that. That's super noticeable through our windows. They come down this way and then they'll bust a U-turn
Yeah,
to go either to my shop or Hunter's. And it happens multiple times a day, or just directly parking on the opposite side of the street.
You're not. Good.
Yeah.
I know that one of my clients says she's severely handicapped, and so it's easier for her to park wrong. But she's not there very long, but I'll tell her to not do that.
it's still done absent the law. I mean,
Yeah,
park that direction,
Yeah.
that's other. There's a lot of places that I can't get out. I'd love to park illegally, but.
yeah.
I have a question. Since we agreed to kind of like to free up those 2 spots out there, I just got a ticket yesterday. Parking there, can that be redacted?
What is it?
A ticket yesterday?
Is it already written?
Yeah. it's
No,
already-
it's already been submitted electronically, yeah.
Do I just turn that in here? Do I turn that in here?
No, we should say on the ticket. Well, there's a place out to get answer that.
Probably record.
Take the city park.
Yeah.
So yes, here.
Should have known.
It wasn't me. All right, do we have any other public concerns? All right, Mr. Broyles.
Good evening, Mayor Jones and Commissioners. I'm Jailer Broyles, the Scott County Jailer, and Commissioner Brown reached out to me last week and asked if the inmate work crew could be used for some upcoming projects in Stamping Ground. And I told her I'd be happy to come tonight. I appreciate a little bit of time to stand before you and discuss that program. And certainly the answer is yes, depending on the program. So I have to be a little bit selective. There are some things the inmates are allowed to do, some things that they're not allowed to do. In the past, for Stamping Ground, we've worked on the park for you guys. We've done some painting of curbs and maybe some parking areas as well. Those are the 2 projects that come to mind that we've done for you guys in the past, but the inmate work crew is available right now. They work for Park and Recreation. They've done some work in the past for Public Works, Georgetown Public Works, Georgetown Housing Authority. Certainly you guys, certainly Safeville. So anytime you guys have a project that you think we might be able to help with, be happy to help you guys with it. For Park and Recreation, when we were doing work for Public Works and the Housing Authority, we were working for them every week. If it is something that is that regular, then there is a cost factor involved in the deputy being with them. If it's a sporadic project, a project that maybe comes up once a year, or various projects throughout the year that maybe you all need help with, then the jail would just eat the cost of those. But if it was something, and I don't think you all would have the need for them every week or every month to be up there doing anything. But those sporadic projects that you guys have that just need a little bit of labor to help with, very happy to help you guys with that stuff. Ms. Brown did mention the striping of 227. That is a state road, and I mentioned to her at the time that the state usually does not like us getting on their territory and messing with it. In addition to that, there's a little bit of a safety concern. It's a state highway, and so we would have to submit, if they would even approve it, we would have to submit a safety plan to District 7 and get that approved before they would even let us do anything like that. They've already got their pre-approved qualified contractors that they use for projects like that. And I do know that I don't want to say they're behind on striping of roads, but because of money, it is going slower than normal. They're not on the same timetable that they were 5 or 10 years ago. So they're taking longer to get back to the same roads to restripe them. So the striping of 220 probably has gotten stretched out a little bit due to them being a little bit short on cash. But I do know it is on their plan to get it striped. I can't tell you when, but it is on their foreseeable future plan. So, I know that Ms. Brown and I had discussed, the striping. And it's the power washing, I would be open to the suggestion. So if we, depending on the equipment that is necessary, we absolutely could put signs up. Now, do we have any equipment that puts signs up? No, but I mean, I'd be open to maybe having them help with do that or take signs down as needed. So anyway, that generally speaking, the work crew is out, on a kind of banker schedule, Monday through Friday during daytime hours. But I have had them out at night working. I have had them out on weekends working. If the project necessitates getting them out kind of in off hours, and we can accommodate it with the jail schedule because the deputy's got to be with them, I don't mind having them get out on weekends to help you guys, depending on the project. So, did you guys have any questions?
You put flags up?
Up on what?
Poles? Like the flags?
Either take somebody Cody's height or a step stool.
Yeah, we could probably.
That might be-
I would say that I'm open to them helping you all in any way that they can. So I'm open to just about any project that you all may have that you may need help with. I'm open to getting them down here and having them help. Now, if you get any questions about them, these are pre-approved inmates, not dangerous inmates. Dangerous is a relative term. So they're qualified by the state to leave the confines of the jail. I've got a deputy with them at all times, and they can't drive vehicles. They can't communicate with cell phones. The deputy has to be in visual sight of them, generally speaking, all of the time. So if somebody were to ask you, hey, they're concerned or express some type of concern, we've never had any problems, any major problems. We have these little hiccups every once in a while, but nothing that the public should be concerned about. Yeah, no kidding. And of course, if you get any concerns from anybody, which we get, I get no calls on them unless somebody, a member of the general public, thinks they see an inmate doing something they shouldn't be doing. And I don't mean like, oh, he's handling a chainsaw. I mean, oh, he ran behind this building, or he's doing something potentially nefarious. We don't have any problems with them, generally speaking. And if you can't answer the question, you can feel free to refer your constituents to me. I'd be happy to talk to anybody about it. Mr. Perry?
Since you mentioned safety earlier, if it's a scheduled time we know, is it something we can put on our page that they'll be working, or do you all like to keep that just not known that they'll be out in certain areas in case they have people want to show up, contacts?
So, yeah, great point. As far as the safety goes, we do not advertise to the public their schedule. We don't even let the inmates. I don't even let the staff know, quite honestly. The staff knows that morning where they're going with the inmate work crew, and that is for the safety of the inmates. And it's for the safety of the deputy and the general public.
Is
So,
that
yeah, it's just not good practice to be advertising that. So if we were to work out an arrangement, which scheduling them at least a week or two ahead of time is how we would do it. But if we were to work out a schedule, then that would be confidential until the day of.
And after the fact, we can say thanks publicly.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Much appreciated. So did you guys have any questions? Any additional questions?
I do. Can they,
Oh, yes, ma'am.
could they possibly pick up after Halloween? You know, the candy, the trash?
The wrappers. and
Yeah,
All
uh-huh,
that. So
yeah.
any particular areas like Main Street?
yeah.
or-
Like,
Yeah, so that is absolutely something. I mean, they're not picking up litter all the time. And so could they like sweep Main Street after Halloween? That's absolutely something they could.
What's the,
it would be good to know.
what is your cutoff? So like, let's say, I'll just use this for reference. Every year we pay somebody to weed and do our park, and then they also scrub our water. Trough.
Okay,
So I mean, is that, like, they just get the algae, they just clean it out.
yeah.
It's just like that maintenance.
And is that a once a year thing you all have done or?
Oh, you said that, we do like 30 mows a year.
Well, no, I'm not talking about mowing,
Just to clean, just twice a year, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So that's 100% something that we can help with,
Okay.
or that we could do completely for you guys if it's okay to. I don't know how
put
big,
it on schedule if you're in.
right? I don't know how big of an area that we're talking about, but I mean, we could commit.
Table.
Yeah, we could commit a day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, whatever to do them. That's absolutely something that we could do for you guys. And that's a sporadic, in my eyes, kind of a sporadic
Do they
thing.
weed or anything like that?
Yep.
So we have like a fire station area that we can turn them loose on.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we have a lot of.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So they can use power tools.
Yeah, they weeding, they mow. Currently,
Did they- and then wash our-
they do pressure wash. They just, it can't be used on
Can they
project.
do valet?
But they do currently mow and weed eat Ward Hall. And,
So is it, would that be something that y'all would be interested in? Is like, we put up a contract for mowing or something?
Every year we do that.
Do you all have to supply the mowers or we?
we could supply the mowers.
And then
Are you talking about the regular mowing?
Yeah, they put you all
It's
in
about 30 mows a year usually.
Well, whenever you need.
We have to look at it, and by we, I mean me and whomever, with you all. I would be happy to look at it. Maybe that's something we could take over for you, save you guys some money. A regular thing like that, probably would incur some cost for the deputy.
Equipment or something.
Equipment, we would take care of, gas, we would take care of. Okay. Because it is a work program for the inmates, the way I look at it. And by the way, this program is not supported by taxpayer dollars. So when I say we'll take care of the equipment, we'll take care of gas, none of that is coming from any of us as taxpayers. So I operate, if you did not know, out of two funds down at the jail. One is the budget approved by the fiscal court. And the second one, a much smaller fund, is, for lack of a better term, the canteen fund. And we have a canteen at the jail and we sell stuff at the jail to the inmates that we're not required to give them. And so that commissary, that's exactly right. So candy bars or pop or chips, things like that, we're not required to give them, but they do have the option to buy it. The profits from that go into an account and I can use that for inmate programs, which is what this is. And so equipment can be paid for out of that program if you ask.
Take donations,
I'm sorry?
take donations.
No. But it's a great program. It's great for the community. It's great for the inmates, quite honestly. It helps with, behavioral, management inside the jail. It's a privilege to be on this program and the number of inmates that we have on this program fluctuates a little bit. It kind of fluctuates between 3 to 5 or 6. But it's good for them it's good for us for population management within the jail. It's good, I hope, for the inmates that they get out and they realize, you know what, working is not a bad thing. I kind of feel good that I actually did something productive today. So that my hope is development of a work ethic within them. They get out and do something different than what got them thrown in jail. So I think it's positive all the way around, Mr. Perry.
And just one question, be the insurance aspect, so completely insured under you all,
Yes.
all we have to just notify our insurer that they're doing the work
Yep.
and
Yep, yeah, I carry a complete separate, policy on
for the
that.
ones that work out.
Yes, sir.
Good question.
Yes, sir.
What if you don't have it? And we have contract with mowing with you?
Well, that could be a problem. That
Have
could
you
be a
ever
problem.
had that issue?
So it has become, because these are state qualified inmates that come out. There is a process, and I do not have control over inmates that are qualified or getting inmates qualified. All of that is up to the state. And so it's a little bit out of my hands. So could we run into a situation, say we agreed to do the mowing, could we run into a situation where, hey, sorry, we don't have any inmates? Now, I haven't run across that situation since I've been there, but
Say the last time we had a couple of projects lined up and COVID hit and that kind of cut a lot of things for
right.
quite a few months.
I will tell you, since COVID, the availability of qualified inmates has been greatly decreased. And part of it is Governor Bashir let a large amount of state inmate population out during the COVID time period. And it just, the inmate population has not rebounded to where we have as many. The more inmate population you have, the more qualified inmates you're gonna have. We have a smaller today statewide state inmate population, so we've got a smaller pool of qualified state inmates to go out and do this kind of work. So today, you're exactly right, COVID was really kind of the threshold where so many inmates were released. And I gotta tell you, I'm be diplomatic. The state doesn't let any grass grow under their feet trying to get inmates out of custody because it's costing them to be in custody, and the state does not dilly-dally as far as
Guidelines are
inmates
stringent.
released. So, but could we run into that issue? We could, but I can tell you the lowest I've had is down to 2 inmates. I haven't had any situation since I've been jailer where we've had no inmates, but is it a possibility? It is a possibility.
You snow removal?
With couples we do. So, wait, yeah, and actually until the last, couple of years, we were doing the courthouse square at Main and Broadway. And so, and JR has already talked about picking that back up this winter.
Just,
You have both male and female work crews.
So pre-COVID, before, since COVID, pre-COVID, we had 2 male crews going out into the community, 5 days a week. And we had a female crew going out a few days a week. And since then, again, the number of qualified inmates just aren't there. At our jail, the breakdown's probably 80-20 male versus female inmates. And so we do have a smaller population of female inmates in the jail. And because of that, we have a even smaller pool of them to draw from to try to send them out. I'm certainly not adverse or against it.
I've
but we
never
just-
seen a female crew.
Yeah, well, I guarantee you,
I've watched, like, I've worked at Blue States for over 15 years and like your guys were always so good. They'd wait on the guardrail while whoever was driving.
right.
And I never worried about them being out there, but like, I mean, they would be left out there, nobody, and like, they just stayed there,
Yeah,
you know, but I never saw females, so I just wonder.
yep. We did have female pre-COVID, post-COVID, the numbers have not supported it. I'd be for it if we could do it, if I had the numbers to send them.
awesome.
So,
Too good to be true.
Go ahead. Oh,
We'll get it.
what'd you say? Walk through. All right.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I think we can actually utilize some services, definitely.
Okay, and maybe you could have, if we can work out something to where we do, mowing for the city here. Maybe you have a backup team just in case some glitch occurs, but I think that we can help out. I think we can definitely help out to some degree.
Well, is it push mower only or can they do it around?
No, I've got a,
Well, you said no driving, that's the only reason.
yeah, we've got a skag,
Okay.
I think, that we use. I mean, can you
It's a
imagine?
big hill.
Yeah, can you imagine push mowing board hall?
Let's,
Uh,
not that long, it goes very fast.
Well, I don't want to break, I was just we're trying to figure.
That's-
Only way we're probably going to contact you again, not by physically calling you either,
Mhm.
or having you come back down.
I did all that.
And so, I would be happy to come back, look at any project with you all. If you don't have my number, I know Miss Jones and Miss Brown have my number. But anybody else, Dale, I think has my number, but whoever has my number, if you want to share it, any of you are welcome to call me anytime. Related to the inmate work program or whatever, feel free to holler at me.
They're allowed to be around the school property.
They can be within a certain distance if school is in session, but I gotta tell you, I would rather just keep them away, because that's where you start to get complaints.
Yeah.
If a parent sees inmates either around a ball field with kids or a school that's in session with kids, it doesn't matter how safe the program is, it doesn't matter how much documentation I provide that, hey, these guys are okay, it's just not gonna,
Well,
perception wise, it just doesn't look good and it doesn't leave a feel good feeling in the community, so.
we own cross street too. I mean, I heard that.
Mhm. Yeah,
We might not, maybe we
Well,
have
he's
another.
saying
company
that
to do
during the hours,
yeah, so,
Yeah.
so when the school is out.
yeah, that's exactly right. So I said sometimes, or maybe we could do weekend work. We absolutely can. Can we do after hours work? We can. So, yeah, I'd be happy for them to help you guys out any way they can. Okay,
Thank you.
all right. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for letting me go a little bit early too. See y'all.
Anybody have a chance to look at the June 26th minutes?
I don't know if you can, if somebody, that's taken.
All those in favor?
Motion to approve. June 26th.
right? Yes.
Okay.
Moving along, department reports. Police, you gotta come up to the podium this time, guys, just so the audio will pick you up.
All right, just a couple of things, regarding the speed sign, that the radar that I've been demoing. It's been set up in 3 locations so far. First one was on Main Street in front of Mr. Meadows' house. The second one was on Steepley Road in front of Mr. Clark's house. And the third one it's on Lake Road right now in front of the Concepts. And as far as traffic flow, there's been for from the 14th to the 15th of this month, in front of Commissioner Meadows' house, there's 3,894 vehicles that in both directions past that house, given the usually on a state highway like that, maybe 10 mile an hour discretionary, 47. There were still 82 of the 146 enforceable violations that were over that 10 mile an hour over the speed limit. So doesn't sound like it's very high, but that's on Main Street. So most of those times are between 10 o'clock at night and 2 in the morning, which is commensurate with Toyota traffic. The same thing at 4 to 6 in the morning, same thing. So that location is kind of an easy fix. The Seabury Road, there was 2,180 vehicles, and on Seabury, still being a highway, but it's a little bit more rural, 7 miles an hour is what I would generally give on that road. 96 of the 353 enforceable violations were over that 10-mile-an-hour, 7-mile-an-hour speed. I mean, 96,
Same hours.
yes. All of them were pretty much the same hours. On, Stevie Road, I just set it up there yesterday afternoon. I went and downloaded it when I got to work this afternoon. Woodlake. There was only 745 vehicles, but, the 7-mile-an-hour discretionary period, 288 of 320 vehicles were in excess of that speed. So that's a
280, now where's that?
280, that's on Woodlake Road, trying to read the concept.
Okay.
It's just up from Rob's venue there.
We got you're gonna drop to 35 there.
It's 35 from the top of the hill. coming to the
Inbound
city.
or outbound? Mostly.
Most of them are inbound on that. Most of the ones on Seabury are outbound and it's pretty much equal on Main Street. But, that's probably gonna be the first enforcement location because that's really narrow through there and got a lot of traffic. So, with regards to the whole investment, we talked about $3,500. If I can move this thing around 3 or 4 more times before I have to send it back, then they have the information to just avoid purchasing that and just enforce it as it is. It'll just be, there's only so many places we can move, initially, I thought it'd be a great thing, but on Main Street, Seabury. If I could find some decent locations to put it in a subdivision like Buffalo Springs, there's no utility poles there, it's all underground utilities. So it makes it a little bit more difficult to find a spot to put it. But,
Locust Fork.
it's really,
They slow down one time.
yeah, when they get that curve, they generally slow down. I've never really seen anybody speeding through there. I haven't had an opportunity to set it there yet. I'm gonna try to find a spot. That's just the first 3 spots that I've had it, so. It generates a ton of information, and like I said, we could probably use the information that we have. Toyota traffic is not gonna change. Their shifts aren't gonna change, so. So once we get the information that we need, we'll probably do it without having to spend that $3,500. So, the, parking situation, sorry about your parking citation, but, I got in there, it's ancient. We need to address the fines and penalties eventually, go outdated. And I've got another issue with, the subjects on Pole Court that have the, bow and arrow. They're shooting the bow and arrow. They've done it for the last 3 years and we've stopped them a couple times. They did have it. They were shooting it from their house at the school to a target and we made them move it. And we made them build a barricade around it. And, there's not a barricade up there. They were shooting today up there and I really think that we need to.
Juveniles or adults?
Adults.
They've been shooting the past 3-4 days.
And, it's already been addressed once, and then I went up there today and told them, and they said they were waiting until after school. I said, wait, if you're gonna do it, you've gotta wait until after the parking lot is empty. You can just come up there and do it. We did find an arrow year before last, up next to the building where the cafeteria is, and the target was, they were facing the school and they were shooting, and they were probably shooting after hours. But still, it's, I feel like as a safety issue, it needs to be addressed in the manner that, firearms are. We shouldn't fire anything that's got a projectile like that in the city limits. They need to go somewhere else and practice and do that. So I feel like we need an amendment to the ordinance.
There was an arrow found last year in the, backyard of the Buffalo Springs people.
How would we get around that? School shoots inside the school.
I don't like it. You've got to have a responsibility to not go fire a gun in public. much less
That's
near
right.
people.
School puts, they do it inside, which it's under controlled supervision.
Right.
But
That'd be responsible.
I understand what you're saying though. It needs to be addressed. But
I mean, that would be an attorney question. I mean, the school, it's a sanctioned school event.
I think it's conceivable that your ordinance could accept now indoor school functions that are
Organized friends.
supervision for educational purposes.
I just think we need to do that because if that arrow glances off and deflects and goes somewhere else, they don't know. It's just like a bullet glancing off. So
And I assume in the meantime, we're sure they're just using blunt ends. They're not using any type of hunting blade arrows.
but it wouldn't matter coming from.
Well, I can tell you this, I live in the city limits, and we shoot behind my house all the time, and we shoot at our house at a base.
And you've got a known zone behind you. You got that open field. I mean,
Yeah, but the guy by the school had it backs up, it was a mattress.
I invested in
I remember.
things to catch arrows, and it's
Yeah.
gonna hit my house, but my kids shoot both of them. And I'm not for that, because they do archery.
Right.
But
I think
I try to watch it.
you're not shooting on school property either. Well, these guys are shooting on school property.
They were shooting from their house by the school. and
You also have to realize the school
That we're actually gonna make it.
is not 25 pounds is the max that they can even draw. Like that bow's maxed out at 25.
Field.
you know, one of my thoughts in my head is, I don't know of anybody that's a landlord liver up there. If these are all rental properties, I mean, have we notified the landlords we're having this issue that they're in the backyard shooting bows and arrows?
That's very cool who's involved. in
Who's
that.
passed away, yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know who, I think his daughter
Yeah.
probably takes care of that. I don't have any way of contacting her. I can
Oh.
find her number.
So what you're asking is a way to be able to enforce. Maybe we put something out that you're not allowed to shoot around school, or maybe we can look at that. But the thing is, how do we get around the school? They shoot. I mean,
But it's inside and it's
it's a controlled environment. I agree.
this is not.
But they do it every day too. Tuesdays, Thursdays.
I mean, the thing is, if they, and their backstop is just, that's a very
I understand.
understandable backstop. And the thing is, to get that, water tower, I mean, you don't know where it's gonna go
Right.
unless it just hits and drops straight down. It glances off, it's in the parking lot or whatever. It's just not safe.
It's definitely something we need to look at. If he's having a problem with it, we need to address it.
It's been every year since I've been.
I hate that that's adult stuff.
Well, maybe that's something else too. We'll have to look at it.
Maybe that's a future use for some of that back there next to the fire station, build a little archery for the kids that practice.
We even-
adults.
I know even Channing is, we tried to get a grant to put archery back here on the hill when Keith was here,
That'd be good.
but that's in the city.
Billville had said that there's concrete, but that backs up to,
Yeah,
and that
But- Right.
it was just like you fall in this gap with the commissions changing, you know, and things get lost in the middle. Because we don't have a staggered turn. So,
They want to do is look at other cities. Yeah. Or ordinances. So what we're talking about is an ordinance. But maybe other cities saying,
maybe don't do
type
that.
concerns that come up with something. Yeah, we'll look at it.
Do you know if if these people doing this, are they doing it because they truly hunt, or are they just doing it for sport, just out in the backyard shooting?
They do not. There's other places that they could go, we ask them to
Oh,
go
yeah.
other places to practice. They just choose not to.
You should shoot the WMAs, can't you, like the one up there on?
Yeah, but you're not seeing, you don't want to shoot there. No, they're actually talking about shutting,
Yeah,
they're actually talking about shutting all the down.
yeah, they mentioned that at
It's
Jacob's
actually,
Day.
it actually says closed on the website. Something to do with lead and getting into the water.
Accumulate too much in the water.
It's getting into the water system. But you're. Okay,
And what's
you have any runs?
runs, I don't have a total for this month. I'll have it at the next meeting. We've been pretty busy here the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
You get your ammo purchased yet?
I have not. I gotta get that paperwork and probably get taken care of first of next week.
Good.
That was 53.
I meant to ask Jailer Bros, that's taken care of, and in their position now?
Yes.
Awesome.
Something you check on something. You're not.
Should maybe wait to the end.
We still haven't got it checked.
It probably has to go through this group.
Meet
It was
Thursday.
before the last. I didn't think anything.
Thank you. Thank you.
Fire department?
The number of responses, we have a regular training on Monday nights and actually we'll pay 15 on. Questions?
Training's going well.
They,
Is it better up there?
oh, yes,
Okay.
in fact, I texted Mr. Pop last night and thanked him for the job. It's really done nicely this week.
Sounds like we've got some meat eaters coming your way. How do you feel? Insurance claim or leaking and all that.
We're sore.
Are we?
As anticipated, denials up front so far, so we can get perhaps other people to assess.
You had mentioned something about having us up there one day.
We offered the first 3 nights of
Yeah,
first 3 trainings. I never heard another word.
I almost stopped last night.
We should have. And glad to have it. You were up on it.
Well, let's make it a point to get over and do that. And, I think it'll be good for all of us. So I hate to ask you, but you wanna come back with a couple more dates? Of when you wanna do this with us?
No. Can I get it to?
Yes, meeting? Yep, that'd be awesome. Cause I think that would be fun.
Quite frankly, several of the commission changes to the department over the last 6 months it's really hurt our attendance. I think we had 9 last night. That's the biggest we've had in several months.
So what commission changes have caused reduced people attending?
Eliminating the rules and regulations that were passed in December and minimizing our available personnel to 15, limiting our personnel to 15. Giving up the radios.
Yeah, we didn't limit the number of personnel, it's just the radios. And then,
What's been
how would the repealing those things that we passed affect their attendance at meetings? I mean, as administrators, you all should still be encouraging them to come and realize that there's no effect on them, on still training, still coming, still providing service for the citizens.
Because there's no way to enforce their attendance.
You have the ones that are already on the book that require meetings.
They weren't effective.
I'm sorry,
They were not effective, sir.
the ones that were passed were about the same. There's maybe 5 or 6 sentences added to it.
I mean to contest you, sir. I just disagree.
Okay, well, maybe, we've got some money there for recruitment and retention. We've got fire prevention month coming up. Maybe you all can up and get some people that come in and are willing to come to the trainings, come to the times that we need them as a citizens, as a community.
But frankly, we don't have anybody that lives in the city limits at this point. They're still,
Well, and, we talked about the recruitment retention, something as simple as you can make door hangers and have your guys one night for training, go around, put a door hanger on every door in the city. Let people know we take volunteers. A lot of people think you're our career and you think it's a job that you have to apply for. They don't realize they can volunteer. And maybe the city could look at something as an incentive for people who volunteer in the city, maybe something we could do. Question I do have, so we don't get in the same boat as last year, getting near the end of the budget and you all losing money. Have you all started beginning to decide about sets of gear that you want to order? That work,
Yes. Well,
Is
we've
that-
not ordered it yet, because we,
I would suggest, you know, so we don't get in the same boat the past 2 years, the commission done yet. You know, go on and get them ordered soon. And I would just hope that those are ordered for one of the 15 you're saying that only want to actually come to training and meetings now, respond. Not people who can't count on.
we've got 4 groups of folks that do. Unfortunately, it's a very cyclical thing. And we have essentially an recruit class, not necessarily a formal recruit class, but a new young group that gets along with one another and interfaces well. Most of them are seeking eventual full-time jobs in the fire service. And once they get those full-time jobs,
They're gone.
most of them move to that location, which is even more distant than where they live now, to work. So, yeah, see them again. But I appreciate it, any recruitment efforts in residents, particularly in the city limits.
Awesome.
Thank you.
It'll go.
Thank you.
Public Works?
So as part of my, of course, I sent out that the BRICS program is up and running. You know, it's working on getting rid of things out. That should be, when do you think we'll have that?
Look by tonight. Use this thing, bro.
Very soon. The only other thing was the back door back there, prior to budgeting, and I had it put in the budget that we were gonna put it on and over this door back here. And I had it quoted at the time for $825. Should I go ahead and do that with the guy that does all the awnings here in town? Or should I RFP it? Yeah. It's only $25.
You can have $25, I would say this. Already.
Well, is he licensed? Does he get a business license?
Yes.
It's vending insurance.
Yeah, no problem.
Question on that back door, it was part of the past problem just because it doesn't have like any type of awning to keep the rain from hitting all the time. So down the road, probably need to look at that.
That was the majority of it. I haven't had somebody actually look at the door yet to see if we can just replace the frame or if it actually needs a whole door. So that is on my list of things.
So you think that could fall into the rework of the kitchen, maybe?
It could, because what I wrote up a little bit more than I think we really need, so,
I'm just thinking.
yeah.
I'm not saying we could bid this out. I mean, it's.
And I did spend about 4 hours a night on the KLC site. There are a couple of things that do have public use grants for buildings and things, community centers. So I'm planning on doing those, and I was gonna see if I can get the grant station login that the city has. Because really on KLC, they just show like 50, like 8 pages. If you go to that grant station, it has like hundreds of grants, but I don't have to log in there to try and get it. So I guess it's the password I have to work.
I saw the America 250 is about to do a grading cycle and it has brick and mortar available. Not maintenance,
Yeah.
the brick and mortar.
Where's the jail?
That's where I was going with that. It's just the,
Where's the jail could put the door in? Or you can do our work here.
Depends on who they have incarcerated at the time.
Good question, that partner.
Summer?
I thought you meant the jail. That's what I was.
No, no.
Oh my God.
Anything else?
Did you, get materials, that pretty
Possibly. You just want the same type door, my security door, or?
I mean, for this.
Oh, yeah. It'd be a couple weeks for getting back at least, yeah.
We're gonna have
We're not having to send people that have to donate to. I think cities, they think cities have lost money. And they obviously have read the paper, don't get no money.
That's all I had.
I'm still waiting to hear back on when the banners and flags will be in, as well as the street signs. did you receive any, proposals for putting in the street signs? I've talked to a couple of people, so hopefully they'll put one in soon. I did find out this past week that, the contract for the snow removal is up. So should probably,
Somebody did reach out to me today saying they were interested in that. And snow removal.
So we need to do it.
so I could get an RFP on that and reach out to Zach, so and hopefully for the next few weeks, we should have that out with everyone. And I know this is kind of not streets related, but it's just something I've been kind of bouncing around. I would kind of like to start doing something or things, that give back to the community. I don't know, one thing that I've said is like the chili cook-off, or even if we do fish fries and charge per plate, but just something that gets us out and people get to see and meet us, not just. Campus. But it's just, I don't know what all that requires and what we would need to be able to do that. Just something, if anybody has any ideas, I don't care to do it myself, to start calling and trying to do things like that. I think that's, the street sweeper. He was either supposed to come out this week, or he said it would be after festival.
The bush is going.
Huh?
Bush.
The bush is gone. I don't know, she's not.
They're a mile marker.
Yeah, so if anybody's missing anything, that's the black hole is probably.
There's a trash can in there.
What'd she say?
There's a trash can in there.
That camera on, there's even a minute working sign was right beside it.
Yeah. That's all I got.
No.
Are y'all here for, are y'all staying for the parking lot discussion? Whatever you want to do, is that,
Maybe,
well,
We're entertained.
we can, yeah.
They're staying.
well,
We can move it along.
that's why.
That would be great.
So we'll get along with economic development. We'll kind of transition into the actual parking lot, follow up. Getting licenses is slow. Michelle, we had a little discussion earlier. It is not moving at any kind of progress, which kind of is another reason why we are looking at with the Scott County Revenue Cabinet. Jennifer sent out the email to them, letting them know that we are interested in them participating in a program or something that they have developed. They have emailed me and Jennifer back stating basically they have to meet with Bernie, Parker, Joe Pat, and Scott and make sure that they can handle all of it and everything. So there will be a meeting coming up when they have not, it's at their leisure. So
Who is it that you have to go through for the parking lot? Like approval or whatever?
They don't have to.
Nobody?
They're sitting.
Well, yeah, there are things we have to do, like to disturb the land, we have to go through planning and zoning to actually dig down there. We end up digging, we just like rocking them. It's in the law code, it was adopted. in
I asked Mr. Holden himself. He said we are seeing, we can do a little bit on it. I even asked him about how long we need to dig out, asking him how long it.
Well, we might need an entrance permit.
Yeah.
We don't even need an entrance permit because we own the parking lot. The driveway coming down to the side of it.
Is there already?
We'll discuss it here. in a minute. That's why I asked if you all want to hook it up. But long story short, I haven't heard anything about the Mexican restaurant, but getting back to, we are waiting on a date for Scott and everybody to get together. Jennifer will let me know when that time's come. And I've even contacted, I think, did you both get the email? So you all probably have to invest interest of the city. One of y'all represent us while we're there, whatever date they pick. It doesn't sound like they do after hours, so we'll probably have to stay off work for this meeting. It is what it is.
Is there anything that we can do to help the process?
For
Anything,
business license or parking?
anything we can do for parking? if there's any kind of
Well, we'll talk about
fundraising we need to do or any.
So reached out to Joel Day. Joel Day was the original surveyor. And one of the things that we had to determine is how do we access this property? So Mr. Day he come out yesterday and he marked all 4 points that we own. So this city's property. We own it. We have a right of way down the side of the building. We have access to it, okay? The next process, which we'll discuss here in a minute, is that we already motioned to make that a parking lot. So it's coming. Whether how we do it or whatever, we've got to get more people to look at it. But I can tell you this, Mr. Joel did not charge the city because he literally walked up and kicked all 4 of them. And he didn't even charge the city. So he did that service free.
Did he look back here too?
He did not because he was not requested. It wasn't part of the, the problem with back here. And if we decide to make that a motion, to make that a parking lot, that involves a lot of property. And like that Perry said last time, it's going to be expensive. And because they have to survey the business properties, they have to survey the house properties, they have to survey all the property and then all the easements and everything, even though it's on the mortgage that says that we own it. I mean, I even talked to Joe about, the last meeting, let's just use it. And they have to prove that it's not ours.
Yeah.
But I think Joe was reaching out, or you had said you were going to look and see.
I haven't gone to the court.
Right. So
I heard that it was surveyed in 2002.
It's on the leaflet.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I actually have it in my car, but long story short, I'm not a surveyor.
Yeah.
Public record.
So long story short, we actually own the property. We've got the 4 marks. So now that we have motion, are we all in agreement to put an RFP out for utilization for a contractor to come in here and do the work? But what that means is, there's guidelines that I think that we should put in that I'm gonna give to Zach and them to write an RFP. And I've talked to a lot of people and it kind of gets touchy with gravel. The thing that I want to put out is Kentucky, has grants for these farmers and they call them high usage gravel, pads. And they do it all around agriculture. So a lot of times cattle, around water troughs and stuff like that, farming machinery coming in and out of gates. So they have a guideline that they have to meet for a grant that they can get their money. So what I did is I kind of went in and I said, what are their requirements? So as long as you guys are okay with this is kind of what the basic that I want to put out an RFP to make this pad. And it's basically you remove all topsoil and must be removed until it's stable. If it's more than 8, if you find a wet spot, it's got to go down to 8 inches. You got to put geotech fabric down, a heavy duty fabric, around 8 ounces. Your gravel base layers 4 to 6 inches, crushed stone 3 and 4, none of the gravels, and spread off all over the fabric. Now, when you get into heavy equipment for pads, such as tractors and stuff like that, you got to go a little bit thicker. So we would have to have a base layer of 5 to 6 of number 3 and number 4s is recommended. And then on top of that, you put a dense grade surface layer over the top, which all this is compacted on top of that. And so, you compact your main gravel, and then after you put your base layer, your dense grade in, you have to go back and compact the dense grade, which is 2 to 3 inches of finely crushed dense grade. This is what they have put out. This is how they issue grants for everybody. If they don't meet this, then they don't get their money. So they've done research behind it. And from what I understand, if you all are okay with that, that's how I will put the RFP out, stating that we need a contractor to do this, and this, right? And basically, this comes off of the University of Kentucky Extension Office, basically. Now, to get back to what Mr. Perry was stating, I talked to Holden, I went to him, and you guys feel free to go, because I have asked him. I even went to the extent of saying, hey, you'll have an engineer this for us. And they will not even step in, because they said, if we engineer this, who's going to check our work? I said, well, why would we have to check your work? You're all going to tell us how to do it. And basically, we're at a standstill on that. So topographical map that's already exists, it's a soil conversation or extension office. Joel even was like, why in the world would you even do that? Something else to point out, even on this, I kind of breezed over it, but they actually recommend a certain slope with these gravel pads, 2 to 3 degrees slope, which we're gonna have that. But basically what I'm telling you is if you go out there and look at it now, the flat spot, not the ingraded hill, will not be included in the parking lot. So we're not gonna go all the way to the road. The hill's gonna stay. And one way to even minimize, and the reason I'm even suggesting this is so that we don't have to put steps in. We don't have to do this. So what we would do is we put up basically the fancy looking black poles with the chains in between them, directing traffic to come up the way it came in. You know, that way you don't have I mean, people are still gonna jump over it. We're not gonna stop it. But as a city, we're saying, hey, don't go this way, go up the road. But I'm looking at maybe 8 to 10 parking spots if we actually dedicate it. I don't think we should make this willy-nilly parking at, however, I think we should actually spend a little money, put a little concrete thing up and say, this is a spot, and we're gonna dedicate 8 to 10 spots there to our best of our ability. And it'll have a sign that says park at your own risk and do not block the right of way passage behind the parking lot. All this is up for discussion. I'm not saying that this is black and white. This is what I have established so far.
Two things. One, just for the city liability, or not just now, but down the road, I would ask the commission consider that we need an official report from that surveyor that we can file and say before we touch it, where somebody else may come sue us and say there's property.
It's already his survey.
It's been certified.
It is his original survey.
No, I'm talking about a current one.
It is
Okay.
his original. Like,
Okay,
it's still all 4
so he'll
marks.
give us a copy dated now saying
He
he still
could go
stands
to
for
the
that.
courthouse and get it.
I'm not talking about courthouse. I'm talking about for us for liability. If we start touching someone else's
He
property.
didn't change nothing.
But you and I both know Mr. Stevens believes that's his. So we need something for if he comes sue us, don't we say,
Well, if there's a copy of the courthouse, yeah,
okay,
we need to,
He's state certified.
you know, when that survey was done.
Yesterday, but it's not that he went
I
out.
know what's reported at the courthouse.
Oh, I haven't, yeah, I do.
it had to be over 20 years ago because that's when the building was built.
Yeah, but I mean, unless there's been an agreement since then, that we're all for some survey.
There's nothing on the deeds or anything that I told personally. I spent all the money looking at it.
Okay, right. Cody, if you could email me, if you have a copy of it electronically.
Yeah, I'll give it to you after the meeting.
And then the other thing I have is I'd ask the attorneys to look into this. It's a Scott Fiscal Court ordinance. It was passed on July the 22nd of 2021. And it's titled Ordinance updating the erosion prevention and sediment control requirements for Scott County land disturbing permits. And in the background of this is when there was talk about a pickleball court up here. And when we started talking about before they built the new houses behind Mr. Cover's place, I was told 2 times by planning zoning, they had to get land disturbance permits. And I asked them about the pickleball. I said, well, this is gonna be city property. They said, if you're disturbing any land, you have to have a permit. So that's what I was talking about earlier, that Cody said we now don't need.
I had asked Mr. Holden, I had went down, I've been to there, and they had told me nothing that I needed.
So why would this, what this county does,
I don't know, but that's what they said we would need from the guy back there and from if we did the pickleball. I think that's the document he sent me so many.
I disagree. I mean,
And that's fine. If you do, then at least have on record, you're saying as our advisor that it doesn't apply to us. So I'm asking.
that's the city enacts it. We haven't.
As far as I know, we have no.
I don't disagree with you. I mean, feel free to reach out to Mr. Holden and see if he would like for us to apply for that. And I have no problem for the city applying for that. I want to do this as legal as I can, but I also want to do it as fast as I can. I don't want to jump through hoops and wait 2 years and have these businesses struggling.
You're preaching to the choir.
So
I gave Ken the diagram that I had from 5 years ago when I tried to give him the same parking lot in the same space and even had a grader come there and give us costs.
So you already have all that
everything.
information.
Hmm?
You already have all that information?
I did at the time, yeah. That was 5 years ago.
How long ago did you show Ken that? For?
Sitting in the diagram, maybe,
When we first started,
yeah, first started.
10 months ago?
when we first started this year.
When we started talking about the parking lot again. Couple
Oh,
months
so you
ago.
have it.
It's just a diagram, just with the measured out points on it. That's all it is.
Diagram.
So I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm saying we've been for 5 years talking about this, but I think we still should make sure we're,
That would have helped the process.
Above board, all the way
Brought
across.
that forward.
I think,
I did mention it, Cody.
But I'm saying you could have proved it like that. You could have given us a copy of it. I mean, you showed Ken, but nobody else.
Yeah, because Ken's over Public Works, which is in charge of things like Richard talking about.
Well, how come he isn't?
because I don't think we need a parking lot.
Oh, you don't?
We got plenty of on-street.
But you voted.
I did, because I think that's needed for back here.
For the park is what me and him voted for,
I don't
because we
think
need
it's,
people,
I don't think it's needed for businesses.
Okay.
because you
Maybe
know,
we need to re-vote
because
on
you
that.
yourself said you came down here and they got everybody blocked there, you couldn't even get in Spring Street.
I said
I was like,
both.
well, that's a good
I
idea to have.
clearly said both though.
For where we rent.
And I even said not to put gravel down there. We did have the discussion, but we also voted on that.
Yes, we
I
did.
don't give a saying.
And I agree, it needs to be a parking lot,
Yeah,
but not for business. I think it needs to be a parking lot so that they have extra parking back here.
Okay.
We
And
can
that
get
is my
parking,
thought too.
but if businesses use it,
I mean, I personally don't think that on-street parking is enough. No other business is gonna come in here because I know my first concern was, I was like, oh gosh, who owns that lot? And I was like, I need to reach out to them and see if it's okay, and if they didn't have that lot, I probably wouldn't have moved into that salon, I probably would have gone to Georgetown. If I knew it was gonna be such an ordeal for us, we would have stayed where we were.
And I'm not saying that's gonna relieve you, but y'all gotta realize, you also got an extra restaurant coming in.
That's my concern, is that it's like, there's, the on-street parking is
I
not
don't know
enough.
about this, what he's stating for parking back there. I was assuming this was for everybody, businesses, whatever, we can, whoever wants to park,
Yeah.
first come, first served.
it's public parking. So they're gonna use it outside.
I don't know if they're stating.
It's public
Do
parking.
you all want to do an RFP on it, or would you like to get a hold of Mr. Holden first?
It needs to- I would, you can do either.
No, I'm talking to Dale right now.
no, you're going to do an RP that you cost in, but I'm just saying we make sure to dot everything, cross everything, but nobody on the road comes and say we did something wrong, that's all I'm saying.
Well, can I task you with making sure that we're good? Because I'm the only one doing this right now.
Well, I think we're employing 2 attorneys right now that can make sure we're good and legal. I mean,
Okay.
Well, what we're talking about, is seeing the plan.
I thought that's the whole deal, because he's saying that we can make sure that we're not breaking soil and having to have a permit and
We'll look into that.
just make sure. I actually, why don't you task somebody else to help me with this? Yeah, you, Mayor, task somebody,
what do you need help with?
getting the parking lot in there.
Yeah.
Okay,
There you go, there you go.
Absolutely.
You might send me.
But yeah, go ahead, do it on the
I'm trying
section.
to find the email.
Is everybody okay with what the requirements? The requirements is kind of what, like, when you put an RFP out, you gotta have these requirements. So people come in and bid on the job.
Yeah.
If you just put it out there, hey, we want a parking lot, they're just gonna be like,
And I think that's a great place to start. I think anybody that comes in here, they should know how to put a parking lot in.
well,
And they may know what the current code is for.
And we-
Public parking.
but list your minimums, you said the grants, because we want to make sure they at least quote where we can apply for the grants.
well, it's not a grant. We cannot apply for this grant. It's only, so what that's farm use. So what, to meet the grant requirements, they have to do these X, Y, Z to get the grant. And so the state has put that out forth. Hey, you've got to do this or you ain't getting money.
Yeah,
And if they put research behind it as a high use gravel area, which that's gonna be.
and it's the same problem with Edgewood, they had to take the bond out to repave Edgewood because they didn't put that road down, so I mean, same requirements at base level and everything.
And if we were to blacktop it, it would be a lot more difficult. And what I mean by that is just water runoff.
I was gonna say with that hill, unless if you take that hill out, it's, you're gonna end up with potholes all over the side.
And so that is moving forward. We'll get an RFP out and maybe
What's an RFP, if you don't mind me asking?
it's basically putting it out and letting people, go legally. We don't have to do it. We can. We wanted to let you do it.
That is for request for proposal.
3 of them fit.
It's just a legal, it's more of a fair way to do things.
What about that property up there that nobody does anything with, that they were gonna do the pickleball court or whatever?
That's in the works right now.
The pickleball court,
No,
Yeah.
what's happening with that, it's just grass?
no, it's gonna be,
We spoke about it for 4 meetings in a row.
Well, I've been pretty busy, so.
there's gonna be, we have to be a courtyard, there's gonna be pavilions, there's gonna be.
They actually mentioned earlier about in a website that they're gonna have bricks
The
donated.
bricks and things, yeah.
Yeah, businesses can buy bricks.
And
Well, will there be parking in there for that?
there will be parking.
But only for those people, so that people would have to.
We requested a big grant from the government, which potentially could be next year. And then, to do the big work. But this is gonna provide the immediate courtyard, and give us some.
Kind of died about it.
It was in the paper.
Yeah, it was in the newspaper.
I was just wondering, cause the last I heard is like pickleball court, no pickleball, it's like sell the property, just sell the property.
I think it's selling about that.
That's what I'm wondering.
100%.
The pickleball courts, they didn't get approved because it was all volunteers that were gonna do it. And pickleball courts under the state guidance had to meet a certain criteria. And I don't think.
Must have one.
Was comfortable.
Yeah.
Plus the lighting, because they have to be lit at night up until.
I feel like parking is probably more important right now than pickleball.
Agreed.
Our businesses are suffering for this. Like, we've been doing great for 2 years and all of a sudden we think we're doing this big thing by moving to this bigger building, more on Main Street. And it's been,
And then we also have another factor, and that's called budget. So whatever we do.
well, that's why I asked, what can we do? Is there anything we can do? I don't care to get the word out there. I don't care to try to do fundraising. I don't care what it takes. We gotta do something.
So
I mean, I've been,
I mean, it's the
we're
point
talking
where
about it. We're talking
I'm
about it.
honestly like, maybe I'll just go.
the first step is getting the cost. And that's where we're at now, is to find out what is there.
And that's where you ask the state for funding or
The contractors have.
For this parking lot? Or,
anything.
so this parking lot will be funded by us.
That's why it's gravel.
Yeah, that's what's good. We don't, our budget is not, we,
I would park in Calumet right now.
But absent that, if you know somebody like, say, the Rock Quarry in town or the one in Frankfurt, and you could talk to them, say they're going to do a project and they could use a couple ton of rock, I mean,
Not more than a couple times.
well, that's what I'm saying, yeah. But if you know people, yeah, I mean, the project Miss Brown did, I mean, that was amazing. I've never seen that much money raised in this city in a day and a half. So I mean, yeah, anything could help. I mean, get us towards that goal.
I don't know how to really.
She said, Rick.
I really,
Honestly, it's really the whole town, like the way it's laid out, it's very hard for businesses, like, if you take away businesses here, what do you have?
houses.
A school,
Houses.
and that's it,
A gas station.
so it's like,
Dollar General, like everybody else in the world.
yeah, well, that's corporate, why would you not want to shop small, I mean, why would you not wanna like have small businesses thrive in here?
I even talked
Well,
to,
and just to say though, at one time, there's 2 people here that can attest, we did thrive down here. We had a ladies boutique, we had a grocery store where you're at. We had business next door, we had a
Yeah, look how
laundromat,
that
and we
didn't
never had
happen.
parking, and we never had a parking issue.
There's no way, there was never.
I never
a
everybody
parking issue.
complained, did
Oh,
anybody
okay.
ladies? I mean,
I even wanted, I talked to Miss Brown, I was like, man, would it, we petitioned the highway to move over and we park like Georgetown, where just everybody park on one side.
Yeah, we don't need that much sidewalk.
that has been asked.
But yeah, I'm saying.
I don't think that the road itself is wide enough,
Yeah.
like it was all through right here, and it's diagonal, it's gonna make it.
We know it's a problem.
Yeah.
And
I think everybody knows it's a problem. I mean, that's a given, that's obvious. Clients see it, other businesses see it. My issue is businesses taking it out on other businesses. I'm not responsible for XYZ, they're not responsible for XYZ. We're just all doing what we can do. You
Well, and
know,
it's not Rob and Kayla's job to, do that, they don't have to do that. That's really like the city's job,
I've even went to this thing, this lot that they're gonna rebuild a house. So let the
I
city,
know.
just let the city buy.
I
it.
told them, like, here, put parking meters in your mind, make it killing.
I have talked, and I don't know how to resolve it over this.
we just appreciate it. We wanna know that we're not in this long, we're not seeing something from a one-sided, we wanna see everybody's point
If
of
you
view.
have ideas, you know, you hear.
Well, it wasn't, we maneuvered around it. We've been up here on Main Street. We opened first week of May. It's the end of August. We've had more issues right here than we did down here, obviously, but it's not so much, it's the animosity that's coming with it. Like, I'm not gonna butt heads with everybody in Stamping Ground, just trying to run a business and make an honest dollar and feed my family. I'm not doing anything illegal and I'm not doing anything wrong, so I'm not gonna get treated like a convicted felon or a slum. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. My business is good. My clients are good. We bring people in from Lexington, Midway, Owington, Frankfurt, Cynthiana, I mean, all over Indiana. Somebody come down just from Indiana.
I got people from Tennessee.
And I take pride in that.
Yeah.
Take pride in that. We're doing good. We need the city to help accommodate us with this.
I mean, I'm
We want to give back. We want the city to help us out. And I don't want to fight and argue with nobody.
I wish we
I
could
got
have about the top of Wood Lake where the lots are across from venue. We just have a ski slope. Everybody just ride the thing down. From the top of Wood Lake, there's lots of.
Probably something businesses you can do to stay on top of this. Probably what you do is businesses stay on top of this, because just like I mentioned, that parking lot, when Commissioner Jones was on here and I talked about then, we even talked about one time, the city finally taking over Railroad Street. And we worked with 3 of the 4 property owners and one just held out and held out. At that time, we talked about, if we spent the money to pave Railroad Street, we we're gonna put 20 parking spaces down there. And that fell through. So maybe just something that's been, so just stay on top of us. Keep harassing us about it. I just do it.
Don't start moving the time.
I'll be.
I would also add, like, whenever you let your customers know that, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, if it's white, if it's not yellow and it's not blue, you can park there.
It's open game.
Like, it doesn't matter if it's in
Yeah,
front of
for sure.
somebody's house.
I mean, that's, you know, to get a driver's license, you should know that kind of basic stuff. You know what I'm saying? It should, again, that's where Hunter's coming from. It's nobody's responsibility to take care of somebody else's adult responsibilities. You drive, you should know where to park. It falls back on us as business owners, though.
They look to us, not you guys.
I can't watch, I literally turned my chair, my salon chair last Friday to look straight out the window just so I can try to manage my clientele. I don't know who drives what. I don't know if they're going to Hunters. I don't know if they're there for y'all or for Rob and them. I don't know. And again, it's nobody's business to keep up with somebody else. I'm just trying to run a business and I'm working a business. So in the middle of me doing physical labor in that business, how am I supposed to watch and catch everybody and run out and do this and that? I'm not capable of doing that. That's gonna run me ragged along with everybody else.
So your customers can't park right here and walk through your shop.
Well, they do.
I've had 2 customers come, they've never even been to Stamping Ground. And they parked where they weren't supposed to be parked, because they just weren't close, you know, and I had to, it's really, really embarrassing to have to stop what you're doing and have them go park in a parking area where they can and walk up to the salon. It's just.
But most of the time, we don't even see it. We don't even know until somebody's complaining.
Yeah, or there's the cop outside with the blue lights on, cop
Well-
speeding, and I'm just like.
I would take it back to, I wouldn't say causing a scene, because just like you just said, you have to be able to read and know the way things work to pass your driver's license. If they're parking in the marked sign, that's not on you. That's not on our police department. That's not on our city. That's on the individual, should know better to park there.
But when they don't, it does fall back on us.
It shouldn't.
Oh, I agree 100%.
That's them.
But I mean, to the saying of us being embarrassed, we are embarrassed because when we're in the middle of doing a job that we put our heart and soul into, we have to stop that job. And there's certain things that we do that we can't stop in the middle of a perm, in the middle of a color. My daughter doing nails, you have to cure it and this, that. We can't tell them, get up and go move your car. One, we didn't know they parked there. And then all of a sudden you've got a cop coming into your place of business telling you that other people are established in Stamping Ground, but you're not.
Yeah, that's.
I'm not beneath anybody in Stamping Ground. I'm from Scott County. So I'm just as established as anybody else. Names, titles, property don't mean nothing to me. I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm going to continue to fight for correct parking in order to accommodate my clientele. That's all I can do. But when it comes to name calling or being put out on Front Street, making it seem like we're doing this and doing that, that's not my responsibility. I can't help how my clients have responded to certain people's actions.
That's totally different. So basically, I'm just gonna come right back to, like, when I go to Georgetown and I want to go eat at Bob's or something like that, I don't park there at Plainfield, in front of Bob's. Usually I have to park at the next block, just to get a spot. And then I walk up to Bob's. I know that anybody that's getting their haircut,
Right, then that's on Georgetown, that's like,
Sure,
here's
no.
only two businesses right
Yeah.
here on this side, so it's like,
Sure.
it's that, you
the
know.
one parking lot across the street that was in question is now marked. right? So you
It
just,
should have been from beginning.
yeah, you shouldn't have customers parking there now.
I didn't have customers parking there.
Yeah,
The one client that you're talking about, I didn't know was there and left a note on that client's car saying there was 90
I
other
don't-
parking
I don't know
spots.
the story.
Well, there's been a lot of backstory to it, and I'm more professional than that, and I won't bring that drama into here
Yeah.
because parking is the issue, not my relations with other people.
Our responsibility as a city is to do what we can to get these lines out here painted and to do what we can about this little parking lot down here.
And again, with them, we're allowed to, because it is a state highway. There's a lot of restrictions there.
I'm trying, I am reaching out. It's just a matter of-
We appreciate
I'm at their
We did,
discretion.
we see, we've
Get ahold of the
seen you out
state.
there measuring and all that stuff. I mean, even that step, we appreciate that.
You can park there, just not for 24 hours consecutively,
Yeah,
right? That's the
so,
rule,
yeah,
right?
code you can't park on, you're not.
That's never been enforced.
But that is not what I'm bringing up. The
Yeah.
thing is, anybody at any time can park on this roadway, am I wrong?
Yeah.
But not for longer than 24 hours, is that right, Joe?
Yeah, just 24.
That's right, that's right.
In any
So-
spot,
But I've never been anywhere where an
Unless it's
officer has
fine.
come and.
I must have been out.
Been later,
So question for the commission,
just letting.
question for the commission. Am I okay, am I thinking right that until we get this working, Cody, the business owners can park on the grass down there, right?
You're fully.
So you all go and start, you got 2 spots here free, that'll give you 3, you said you had 3 chairs.
Well, maybe we should wait till we get the
Out
sign.
your mind.
Well, we know it's our property.
But it's,
I don't have a sign saying park at your own risk.
that's, and if you get stuck or something like that.
Yeah, that's true, that's true.
I park there.
Could they sign a waiver?
Sign them.
Could they sign a waiver in the meantime?
And what?
Could they sign a waiver to park there currently?
Listen, I hope the 2
I
spots
think
that
so far reaching, will make the pavilion use or something.
That's definitely gonna
it's
help.
gonna help. I hate that we had to move Michelle back. Thank you.
sorry, Michelle.
But-
Gift basket.
Do you think that people going down the street will know that that's active?
Yeah.
Do you think they're ready to
They're planning on signs to say public parking.
Yeah, I've got a sign and I mean, they sign next to, I don't know, maybe try to figure out how to put something on this wooden post. That's really big. This says public parking. I'll address that whenever I get there, but I'm currently just trying to get the parking that which we're trying to draw out of thin air.
As long as they don't park behind the building next door.
Yeah.
What,
Yeah, somebody lives there or something, right?
There's a night when it's white there.
This building right next
Door,
door.
one right next
The
door.
parking lot behind it belongs to that property, not city's.
yeah, I was gonna say
My
like.
park
It's gonna be a whole nother problem.
I park there.
I can just see it coming.
Well, I just want everybody to know, we apologize if there's any trouble. We didn't mean for it to happen that way. We don't set out for
We
that.
try to make you as successful as we can. We only have so many resources.
But this parking was brought up before you all.
Yeah, and it's something that, like Mr. Ferry said. This, hopefully 2 spots will help learn anything, I hope. At the end of the day, we all have to work together and
Yeah.
stay on the butts for this parking lot.
I will say too, it may be, inconvenient, but they can park down at the park too. Obviously, I know there's something going on.
So that's the only parking lot that's in question.
15 on the other side. of-
Where are you talking about?
Yeah, that's what the question.
Behind Bill's? Bill,
On this house right here,
where she got chewed out the other day for parking?
telling you.
Yeah, she's not from, or she's from Sadieville, but she just started here last week, and this is the stuff she's gone through beginning her career here at our shop. And she has gotten a ticket, she has gotten chewed out by Bill. I mean, she didn't know where to park, she didn't know, and I just, don't park in front of the shop. Don't park in front of the shop.
Parking going up the hill here.
I've been around Spring Street, I parked like right behind the sheriff's office, I believe.
in those parking spots where.
Yeah, that's Mr. Stevens' property.
That's the-
But back to what Commissioner Coker said, when you turn right off of Wood Lake, there is 8 parking spaces up there on the right.
Yeah.
You can park
Well, we,
across the street.
we tried to utilize that, you know, my daughter was here earlier, not saying special treatment, but she does have a 7-week-old baby. Sometimes she goes to the salon by herself. She has her own schedule. So, I mean, calling a newborn, your nail stuff, your purse, your backpack, it's a lot. So,
You can actually park on Wood Lake.
No, I'm saying when you come up Wood Lake, take a right, and go up Main Street, there's 8 parking spaces to get to Bill's Sports House. I've never seen that park there.
there you go.
You're not saying Bill.
My daughter's been parking. She's been parking there.
Bill, right?
Yeah, if you go up the street and past Wood Lake, she parks right on the right.
Excellent.
There's 8 spots.
Yeah, and then we've been parking
A
down
little
here.
more iffy because there's a fire hydrant there, but there is like 2 spots in between the fire hydrant and the rest of the place.
Well, like I said, we'll park wherever, as long as it helps the city, but it helps our clients. It's our clients that we're worried about because, you know, we're stressed. We're stressed out to the max and you can only tell somebody so many times.
I
Where
would
did you
give
park?
you some forewarning. We have a very aggressive economic development person now. We're getting ready to rezone down here. Our hope is if you're here in another 10 years, hopefully you're gonna have a lot more competition down here, that there might be a bigger parking problem down the road, just so you know that ahead of time. You know, we're trying to resolve it right now for you, but the hopes are, there are days when we're gonna have to find an alternate way to get people to park down here even more, because that's our goal. Because the more business we get down here, the more people see your business go, oh, next time my haircut, I'll stop here.
2 clients I had from, that have never been to Stanford Ground, were like, this is so beautiful, like they love it. So, I mean.
Wait, the tickets are only like how much were the
Was
tickets?
it $5?
They're like $5.
Yeah, I was like.
I was like, what's that? I think you're like $5.
I mean, it's. I noticed John said it was a little outdated.
It is, it's just outdated.
Oh, the handicap's $20 fine.
It's
Oh, really?
$250.
They charge like 30, I can listen for that. Listen,
Florida stuff.
we can help. Please come to us if you have any ideas, concerns. We will do what we can. Try to push it along. It's not gonna fix everything. I think this, we're moving 2 signs right here, rather than anything, but
Yeah, for sure.
I'm glad that we all agree upon that, so.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
And we wish you the best. It's not, we don't have, we want you all to be, at least I do.
Obviously, everybody, I'm
I
not.
don't know. I'm sure they do too. Absolutely. We can help. And we want you here.
From? You are.
I promise.
Thank you.
I can use it.
No, we appreciate your help. And like I said, we don't want any animosity. We're just passionate about what we're doing.
Got my number, called me up there. Yeah, don't go.
No.
Don't you got my news?
I will Google every one of y'all.
All right. Any more on the parking lot?
So we're good with RFP, guys? Yes. All right. Hey, Zach, you all right there?
I can help you.
Thank you, sir.
Can we be dismissed?
No, you're cool. Yeah.
Well, we appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you all for your time.
And
We
listen,
got stuff.
thank you.
Anyway.
Oh, yeah, probably. Feel free to talk about it.
That's all I have for you, topics. Next.
Okay. We're gonna need to close City Hall. I guess Melissa's gonna be down here on the 18th.
Yeah, she said the 18th, she could be here all day. The 10th, she could only be here from 1 to 5.
So you need to do one or both?
One or the other to start off with. She didn't really express whether or not she needs the whole day. She's the one that brought us 1 to 5. So I feel like that's completely correct. But she is wanting to review management list of items for audit, confirm reconciliation of QuickBooks accounts, and discuss new budgeting functionality. that we have now.
If you want to do the 10th at one, from 1 to 5.
Can I ask a question? How are we doing? Who?
It's not an extra charge for her to come out here, but I'm 99. Don't quote me on that, I'm 99.
If that's not correct, she did tell us when we talked about her just expiring that she would just charge us appropriately for the hourly.
So we don't have that number though, do we?
Per hourly.
Yeah, right, hourly.
It's just
Can you get us that number?
something I want to bring up.
No, I like it.
Because she's not under contract with us and her contract is up. I don't even know if she should
Either.
handle it.
Well, she's still insured license. If she were paying her hourly rate, she would be covered, but.
As long as she agrees to that, her contract is actually up.
Well, and here's something to come, remember, we talked about this in budget, what she's offering to do to help
But I'm
her.
not saying she doesn't.
What she's offering to do to help her isn't even in her audit contract. She's done things above and beyond what's in her contract to help us out. So this is something else extra she's doing there, except for the stuff that is prepped for the audit.
You know what, why don't we do the 18th, so since it's a whole day? And that gives more room for her to,
And maybe if we don't need it, I can reopen.
Mhm. Is that good with
We
everybody?
have a meeting before that, right?
Do it.
Yeah, the 11th.
Can we have an hourly rate if she is to charge?
Yep,
Please.
we meet the 11th.
I have a question. Just pertaining, because with the training and stuff, since you've upgraded the QuickBooks, have you been able to like manipulate it and find out budgeting, any of that? Have you been able to do that yet?
I've not tried to play with it.
So that might be something that if you can't or don't know how, maybe bring that up to her.
Well, and I
Some
think
training
that's,
on that.
I think that is one thing she can do. And explore herself as well. And I'm glad you said the 18th, that probably would be better. Because I know we have a meeting on the 11th, but I have a doctor's appointment at 9:45 on the 11th.
To be like that day.
But I should be here by 12:01. So
You have vacation.
do I have a vacation?
Do you have vacation? Have you used any?
No.
So.
I feel like I can, but.
So are you gonna take that whole day, the 11th, or you?
No, we have the meeting, so I was gonna plan on being back by lunch, and that way I can make sure I have everything for the meeting, and be good to go over the night.
And we know that we just need to post that. Maybe on Facebook, door or something, saying that will be posted that day.
Maybe even that Monday or something.
Okay,
For the 18th.
18th, and then half day on the 11th.
18th and the first half of the 11th.
Yes, sir.
I want to put that out tonight at your meeting.
I think that would be fine.
We can vote on that closing statement.
You wanna vote on it? Okay, I vote that we close City Hall on September 18th, all day for training with Melissa Bear. Michelle training with Melissa Bear. And also on the first half of the day on September 11th until lunch.
That's like,
All those in favor? Okay. Second reading of the property tax ordinance.
And Mayor, this is an ordinance relating to ad valorem taxes. The city of Canton, Brown, Kentucky as follows, section 1. 2025 tax rate for all real property located within the city limits of Canton, Brown, Kentucky shall be 13.5 cents per $100 of assessed value. Section 2. The 2026 tax rate for all personal property located within the city limits of Canton, Brown, Kentucky shall be 13.5 cents per $100 of assessed value. Section 3, the 2026 tax rate for all vehicles and watercraft within the city limits of Canton, Brown, Kentucky shall be 40 cents per $100 of assessed value. Section 4, this ordinance shall become effective upon passage and publication, and that's the second reading. So, if anybody want to make a motion?
I'll make the motion
for,
for the second reading of the property tax to accept the second property tax ordinance.
I'll say.
All those in favor? That's CPA, I mean like CPA, I think. Yeah. So we still need a CPA RFP and a head clerk RFP. I know
Sorry.
CPA.
Well, he says advertising, yeah.
City clerk.
I think that's why I put ad, because the RFP was posted on Facebook. And I was wondering if we needed to advertise the CPA RFP in the paper.
Yes, I personally think we do.
And professional publications.
I was gonna add that there was a, it was a, what, a RFP that was on Facebook as well for the street signs that should go in the paper as well. Then
Yeah,
No, it doesn't have to. Those positions do.
but did you get any hits on it?
But I'm saying, I mean, no,
Okay, that's why she's saying maybe it doesn't need going.
She did get it hits on. She had 2 people reach out, they just haven't turned it in.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Which we haven't set a date when it comes down, right?
that we said that it needed to be done by Tuesday, but
Oh, no, we're waiting to see what.
that's
There was that.
what the RFP on.
Well, we also have the jail that we can use too, so we need to look at that now.
Yeah.
If he's willing.
I mean, we would have to supply the equipment. to
No,
get
it
it
didn't
on.
even sound that way.
He said that he didn't have the equipment to put on the signs.
He's talking about, well, yeah, we'll work it, we'll hand it out with it. Yes.
So, the one thing we had lingering was Joe had emailed us all a copy of the ad for the head clerk,
And we don't,
city clerk,
yeah, and but there was the,
to pay.
thank you, the pay was left blank on it. My question was, can we just take that out for now?
Y'all, you can alter this ad any way you want. You know that in years past, there were specific discussions about, we need to let them know what we pay.
Yeah.
I think we've also kind of discussed in that.
But we don't
We're
have
not
to.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole talk about.
I personally don't like putting the amount we're willing to go to, but I think we should have a starting amount, because people might think this is just a minimum wage job, and it's not, and we all know it's not a very small job. Because that gives you a starting point, shows you're actually commensurate with the other local area starting clerks. And if you saw that thing I put with the thing last week with the job description, it has salary ranges on the back, it has what we're at currently. That would be the one if we did list, I would hope we'd list that where we're at
I
currently.
like that. I
Yeah,
like a starting ad.
just not a,
Just don't tell them what.
Basically, off your
Yeah.
qualifications, you can
Yeah.
get more money, basically.
And I think did yours have, or was it my thing that had said, higher pay available commensurate
Well, I
with
think,
experience?
yeah. Starting at blank amount, depending on qualifications.
Because that would tell somebody, well, here's where you start, but hey, I've got huge experience, maybe they'll pay me more,
we need to get those out.
need to be out for
And I say we do the same thing for the
CPA.
CPA. I mean, I don't see why we wouldn't.
So we started what we know we paid her contract wise last year, or half of that.
I mean, I would have something happen.
Yeah.
On the city clerk, what,
I don't have it there.
Does anybody have that thing I passed out last week with the, uh, it had, the job description for clerk, according to our ordinances and once it's off KLC. Oh, there you go. This is what. And this would just put on range, we could possibly go through what we did right here. It says. No. 35,000. And I guess that's a clarification, 35 is what we put in the budget, so if anybody came in, we want to pay them more.
and then, y'all just think about how you want to go about doing the hiring process. So you put in the added deadline for the applications. How many? What, 3 weeks or?
I was gonna say, once it's posted everywhere, I would say 3 weeks.
So what? It would be.
2 weeks, or could we do 2 weeks instead of 3?
It's up to you. You can,
What do you all think? Like 2 weeks is a,
We have money allotted for advertising in the paper.
I can reach out to Lori as well too, so if they can post that, that'd be great.
KLC, we can post on there.
I think we have to keep it until we get one.
let's see, the next meeting is September 11th.
Next is 11th, and the next one after that is the 23rd.
So typically, I think we try to have the deadline prior to a meeting, like this or the meeting. But that's gonna actually be less than 2 weeks.
Let's go to the 23rd, get it up by the 1st of the September.
Yeah, 22nd would be,
Applications due by the 22nd, Cody, is what I suggest, the Monday.
and that gives us a little time to look over it.
That's a Thursday, isn't it? The 20th.
Yes.
Okay, so
Wednesday.
Wednesday, the 22nd.
oh, I said that all wrong. Sorry. Our second meeting month's Thursday, right?
Yes.
So that's the 25th.
So that's the 25th.
Yeah, it's the 23rd.
Yeah, it'll still be the 23rd.
Yeah.
Because the second or the fourth Tuesday of September would be.
It is a 4th Tuesday.
Yeah.
22nd. Shoot for 22nd.
Thank you, man.
22nd.
That was a
We're
long
so
time.
glad you're on there.
What is this?
So that's the
Well,
deadline.
thank you for the.
Published.
So that's why we meet again, right?
Deadline for,
Okay.
advertising.
Or even if it's published Friday.
Well,
Is the,
or no, sorry, let's.
or that was 2.
Then, what has commissions have done, now, it's, I mean, you all have to do it this way, but had, I mean, I think they've had like 10 or more applications. And have appointed 2 of the commissioners to review the applications and narrow it down to an interviewable number, that is 2, 3, or 4 people who, then came in and in executive session were interviewed by the full commission.
You don't have to do it that way though, right?
That's, I mean, how it is. done.
Right, I was making
How
sure.
you all want to do it.
This is for both positions.
No, I'm just.
This will just say clerk, right?
One at a time, yeah.
That's a great idea.
I like that.
Keep in mind when you're talking about the CPA, you can't go into executive session on that, that's not a city.
Yeah, especially here.
So anyway, that's a suggestion, just how it was done in the past, not. It worked out reasonably well, you don't know how many applications you get. So you may just have to get 25 applications.
And Jennifer, just from an employee perspective, it was nice to have the one-on-one with you ladies before I met the entire commission.
Mhm.
And that, okay, well, Michelle, that did happen, there was an interview with just the 2 committee members.
Yeah, I believe it was Jennifer Kendra and, Regan Fuller.
So, but anyway,
Do you need a motion that?
well, let me, Cody, I guess 35,000 is the starting salary, as I understand. And we're gonna have the, applications due by September 27th.
And you want to mention in that article, we budgeted to do the same as clerk was getting last year. That was retirement and benefits. Do we want to at least put that in there too? Say, no, I'm not just making 35. It's a position that says retirement benefits. That might give us a bigger range of people that might apply.
Yeah.
If you include there 35,000 plus retirement and benefits. Could we put that in the budget to pay the same we paid last year for insurance and health insurance and papers? Yeah. That's good.
Where are the applications emailed to?
22nd, I think we'll just say, right?
It is, first of all, according to the clear for the division,
Where?
with signed dated city employment application must be received by the deadline stated. Application forms and the position description are available at Stanton Ground City Hall, phone. City's phone.
So there isn't an email that can be sent to, if only mailed or hand delivered.
It's up to you, all tell me.
Why don't we create an applicant as COSG
Well, as long as, that's fine, as long as we can get it done before,
22nd.
yeah.
Well.
Well, no, we need to be done before the first.
We'll need it done before that article was listed.
By Friday.
Yeah. Don't forget about Thursday could be in projects.
Could we send it to our ethics? Can we send it to our ethics?
Why?
Why not?
Yeah.
Because they're not charged by this.
Ethics is not.
They're not charged by ordinance to.
If we send it to, if we create an email for it.
We have to keep it for everything.
Yeah, we'll check it forever.
Might go to the attorneys.
That's all I'm saying.
Would my admin .gov be any better?
I think, to be honest, knowing you're gonna be one of the applicants, it should be one that's just whoever's appointed to do this review committee. Instead of
Well, we're talking about,
like an email that gets sent.
one thing, get the application, and then they need to know where to turn it in, which the application itself. Is that right?
Yeah, the process of return,
Yeah,
yeah.
we kind of make them email it to attorneys and they can just give it.
You all want to take us to.
To receive and process it.
It's not wrong. Just gotta print it off, don't you?
Or just forward it?
Or forward it. I mean, you forward us emails all the time.
No, I don't think you want the attorneys doing that.
I'm just trying to do somebody that's non-biased.
Well, I think it's an application. I
It's
think
an application.
you're all unbiased.
That would be.
Get the application. They can call City Hall and Michelle answers the phone, gets their email address, and emails them an application. Apparently, that's the way it works. Michelle, whenever
You
you
have to take on
Well,
that.
and I do feel like my situation with Rita was a lot different because Rita had
Control.
the head clerk position and she was not applying for it or didn't have the ability to.
To make sure we don't get too far ahead of ours, I think we also, maybe we need to point that two-person thing. Because they need to look at our application, because one of the things our ordinance requires is that person has to be able to be bonded. So the application needs to ask questions and probably have some type of background check for financial to make sure.
Well, the actually, as private, I don't think it mentions background check, but it does mention the ability. It does say a background.
Yeah, it's in our ordinance. So I don't even know what application we have. It may not even ask those questions. I don't know. So it might be just a generic when they bought it at Staples, where I'm.
But then, okay, so you want to. Point to people. Ultimately approve the advertisement in the application. There.
I'm sorry, Richard.
Adele's suggestion is that the commission go ahead and appoint the two new commission members that will oversee the application process. One, to go ahead and review the application form that the city has, make sure it's necessary requirements and make the application forms available to the applicants.
Mayor, what about you?
Well, the question that I have is, I mean, if we're talking about having an email address that they can be sent to or that we can send from, whatever, I mean, why wouldn't we just put it at like applications at Stanton Brown, Kentucky dot, whatever, and then, I mean, that's always, because where these positions are always ever changing, it could be, if it's sent to one of us individually, then the next time somebody tries to send one in, that email address may not exist.
Well, that's what I meant
If
by.
we create this just in particular, that's always there.
Yeah.
And
And then after this process, you can always have that,
Use it for police,
well,
fire.
not only that, you can have that merge into the clerk's email.
Yeah.
So it's still getting checked and all that. I agree.
So you might double check with KLC, but it was my understanding from the training that like my Gmail, in order for me to get rid of it, now the one I have would be a massive project. But there's no way to just transfer the data from Gmail, unfortunately. Other emails that will allow you to do that, but as long as you get every single email and all of that information out of that email and transfer to a different one, then you can delete it. If that were.
We would not need to delete.
No.
Well, you don't
How
have to do that
can we
anymore.
get that applications at Stanford Ground email done?
couple of days.
So we could, but I'm saying.
Thursday, if we can get to the paper Thursday morning, they can advertise.
Yeah.
Right. So if we're talking about doing the two-person thing, I'd like to make a motion that you and I do it just because we've seen what
I
needs to
would
be.
like for somebody else other than myself to do it right now.
Oh.
So if you and maybe Megan.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to volunteer you, but.
What are twins? Basically get together the next couple of days, get the email address started, sign an application that the attorneys say is fitting.
That's just for that, for
Just for the head clerk. Yes.
so now what about, so we're square on that now?
Yes.
Well,
Well,
I understand. Email to review this application, I mean, leave a blank, an email address where applications may be obtained. Tell me how to go into that line. You guys are going to review the city's application form.
Yeah.
And we email exactly.
We will.
Yeah, when I say email exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
So we want to be sure the application form's in good shape. And hopefully get this as published Thursday or deadline or something. Saturday.
I'm up Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
are we good there?
CPA.
CPA.
That we do CPA the same way.
CPAs, in my opinion, can be done a little different.
Yeah, 'cause it's just like a profession.
Yeah.
It's on.
I think,
I'm not necessarily saying we need to put it in the paper.
or we can just simply call up two CPAs to find out if you're interested in coming.
Well, but we've been saying that we're going to do that for a long time, and it's not been done, that's
We
not,
can.
the CPAs. Instead of us just calling several like we've been talking about doing. Put something out in the paper,
I don't know what else to do.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the paper stuff.
Do we have something already that we can put out for advertisement?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When she was hired, Ashley just brought her, she found her, brought her. They just interviewed
You helped the fire department with their budget.
her. Oh, yeah.
They did a really good presentation, so that will make them stuff.
And is she does not want to do it anymore, is it? Cause she didn't apply.
I think she just lives farther away.
Yeah, I think the distance, and I think also, when I was pushing for a treasurer, I mean, that was just some things we're finding out, we need somebody in here day to day that deals with financial stuff on top of it. And I think she thinks we need a more task oriented person, and somebody that's doing a broad overview or in a year or 6 months or a quick snapshot for us. That would be my guess, and that the distance, Northern Kentucky, just above Erlanger or somewhere now.
We have a detailed list of what is required in the CPA.
There is one on the KLC where I swiped that head clerk one I saw the other day that outlines, duties like that for treasurer, I think. It'd be about the same doing it, because I think she did say, even if we did hire somebody, and Joe, the attorney's the way on this too, but I think what she said was, if we hired somebody as a city employee, we'd probably still need to get an independent person to do our yearly part. But, or every other year,
You have to.
yeah, so it could be who we hire, that'd be a totally different person. But it would be 40,000 or whatever right now. Here's how that one thing.
Yeah, I guess to clarify, the legal requirements are simply to have an audit done every 2 years. But it's helpful for the city to have someone to guide city clerks through the financial responsibilities.
How about this, if we have something already called the forensic audit discussion, If we do the forensic audit discussion, do we need one this year?
That's true.
No. And that, and the forensic audit would not only, and restart the books basically at zero, because that person would come in and say, this is exactly where you're at. And as long as we track well from then, we implement the new budget software we got for the QuickBooks, we should be good.
Just the person that turns in all the stuff at the end of the year to the AG.
It's Department
DL.
of Government. Yeah.
Well, it's.
Let's avoid them, avoid the AG.
Thankfully,
So,
Yes, actually. The original thought behind having the accountant is that the commission has an attorney that's at every meeting guiding them through legal issues. The accountant's position was supposed to provide the same type of support from the financial standpoint. Like if you have a question about, can we do our money this way? Can we do our money that way?
Right.
Like ideally, the position was supposed to like answer those questions and help budgeting.
I missed the beginning of that, but I think this is, so like this past weekend, Ms. Brown asked me, hey, somebody mentioned, make sure we mention on the ad that this is tax deductible. And I had no idea whether it was or not. And I immediately emailed Melissa and like 2 minutes later, she answered with the law and what allows us to say that. That's why we updated and changed that ad to put on there, because it's nice to have that person that you can immediately call with questions like that. And Joe's right. A second ago, he said, if we do end up, in clerk position changes, it'd be good to have a CPA also that can answer questions for that person. Even if they come in very experienced, they may come in from a different form of government that's not like ours.
So my question is, do we need to hold off on the CPA thing until we do that?
I think Cody's, I think get the audit done first. That's more
But we
important.
have this very fine, good.
Yeah.
It's up, we could discuss it. I say we move on to the other two, and then we
Yeah, let's do that. BOA appointee follow-up. Do we have anybody here interested?
Yes.
Yes. Stand up and introduce you. You'll have to come to the podium.
I'm Tanya Morrow, formerly Tanya P. Red. I'm from Stamping Ground, lived here all my life. I am moving. I don't know if that's a conflict of interest though, to Georgetown.
I don't think that you have to
Do you
live.
have to be,
Just says you have to be a citizen member and you fit that.
I'm a realtor. So I've been for this 10 years.
We all know about your house.
I think it's sold. Put it on the market.
But did she have
So
to be
hopefully.
sworn in for this, Joe, or
Yeah, well, you all have to.
is anybody else here from the
BOA?
BOA appointment?
So just clarification, they're 3-year terms. You're good with that? So that means if she's coming in a 3-year term, who we have on now, we have the one we just appointed. And that means Mr. Garrison should go off at the end of this year and she'll move up to have 2 years left the other lady. So we'll need another person next year.
Or you can reappoint.
Yes, yes.
I don't think they meet very often, it's just occasionally.
So you'll tell me, I guess.
I think that they'll,
Cherry usually calls you up, huh?
Yeah. Harry's, you know him, I assume. Okay.
Do we need to make a motion?
Make a motion to appoint Tanya P. Rat to the Board of Adjustments as our 3rd member.
And her last name is Morrow,
Whatever.
not correct. You go second.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
And she is getting a business license.
Yes. I just need to.
Cody is adamant about.
Well, we need to actually.
John, you'll be sworn in. Sometimes we just do that whenever there's actually a board. Maybe I didn't bring any.
That's-
1 second.
Just let me
Your
know.
motion at first, right? Yeah,
And we can try to, maybe the next meeting, I want to do that,
if you're available.
if you're available, the 11th.
Listen, I will tell you that they have something coming down the line, so we might need to do it quicker. Is it still, we still have to do that or not?
I mean, they still schedule it. It's in the time period where they have to hear it. I mean,
The planning director will contact the board chair and they'll.
shouldn't be before the next meeting. It's on 2 weeks. I mean,
September 11th. Thank you.
I can get, you have Clary's number?
What else?
Let's move to
Okay. Stakeholder
let's do
committee,
stakeholder next.
can we skip to that?
Yeah, there's an individual here.
Stakeholder committee for planning and zoning. Do we have anybody here interested?
I had, reached out to Mr. Duncan, asked him to come in, and basically we're gonna start, we sent our letter, I guess they told him he's accepted it. Going forward, we look for, 3 to 4 residents, which is what he recommended, and 2 commissioners.
I think he wanted, I think he wanted a business owner too, right? Somebody that
It
would.
doesn't have to be.
Message me and it's like, I'm headed out, please let me know if I can run the store, but you want me to have her come back?
What?
I mean, she
Is
got
she
time.
interested in
Yeah,
that?
Yeah, I asked him.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, she was business owner, but y'all had a lineup of like 5 of them. That they were all.
I nominate Mr. Duncan, as a member. I actually kind of would like to make him like the kind of the senior lead in the project.
There's a board that had to elect a chair.
Well,
Yeah, I don't,
it's a committee. And
what it's,
what I mean by that, he has served on commissions and he knows pretty well. They'll all be equal. Kind of like what we are. I don't know if we can do that. You're right.
yeah, no, it's the wall. There's no real finality.
Okay.
With this. And I think if you want to make Roger the head person.
Well, I don't even know if he'd want it, but
Yes, here, so.
I didn't even really discuss.
Or they can, it's
It's our description. But what I'd like to say is, he has asked for 2 commissioners on this.
Who has?
Planning and zoning.
Applicant.
And 3 to 4 stakeholders.
And what was the reasoning for having commissioners on it? Because we're still going to hear it after they bring the recommendation. That's what he asked.
I'm just saying, that's what he asked.
so everybody is represented, not just us included, the business people in the town.
I think it's communication.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm just relaying what he has outlined.
He said 3 to 5, but I thought when he talked, he said it could be open in how many people, because we could open up. He's made
Put
a
that number on.
community want to be involved.
He put that number on there and he said everybody in the meetings will be 2 meetings for the public. And then it comes back to here for the list. We all know. So that's I was kind of questioning.
Yeah, if that's the case, we just open the meetings and whoever shows up to stakeholder. Right?
Well,
Is it saying 3 to 5 because he wants that many at least to show up, but it's not topped at that? Like, is it?
I know with the RV ordinance that was in place that they're trying to draft, that there is like not a stakeholders, but there is a committee formed just for that, and it's county. But like, I think that those people are set, but like I attended a meeting, and it was everybody like in the community, like showed up to that meeting. It's just you for sure have those people that are engaged, hands-on.
Well, I think it's a contact, like if somebody in the
This
community
isn't
does have an issue that maybe they don't want to come to the meeting, but they
can relate.
have an issue with something, or they have a question about something, they can reach out to one of the stakeholders and.
They held that at like the library, and it felt very town hall style. If that makes sense.
My thing is though, is if we appoint 2 commissioners on here, would we have to recuse ourselves when we vote the zoning through?
No.
Okay.
Well, no, that is gonna go.
I just think it could be a conflict when we go to vote certain things in. So,
That's what they have to volunteer for?
So Cody, what you're talking about is 2 commissioners, Robert, and 3, 4 more community centers.
that's what Alden has asked for. Yes. In his email.
Is it kind of coming back?
I've tried.
And, from what I understand, as long as their stakeholders being that they own property and stamping them.
I think that should be a must. Because if we're going to affect change in our city, you should.
I asked about that, just out of personal curiosity, and I was told that they just had like a vested interest here. And, just an example would be somebody, I mean, like, who stays here quite frequently. Maybe they don't have a place here, but their children here and they're pretty much here too. Or like different scenarios were given to me, and they said it could be anybody from anywhere in the county, like Tanya. Said that she wasn't gonna be on the DOH, she's moving to Georgetown. You know in her heart that she cares about what happens here. So then she would be in Georgetown, not here. Does that make sense?
I kind of like you said earlier, Cody, I think invested interest, you live here.
Well, not necessarily live here, you own property here. You can live in Ohio, but if you own property in Stanton Ground, it's kind of the way I feel about it, but Mr. Holding may have other,
I mean, see, this Hunter been.
When they were here, I remember stuff.
Has the
They
red,
said that,
yeah, the red.
they would actually.
I mean, she owns business right here.
Yeah,
So, I mean, whether or not she lives here, that affects her, right? So I mean, if you get.
and if they're big enough, we might have to relocate to
There's 30, and that's inside.
It's a possibility.
So with that, Hunter and
Well, it was maybe Hunter.
maybe Hunter and Mr. Duncan and Ashley is interested.
I think, I asked if I could serve and he even said, yeah, because I was like, wouldn't that be conflicting like with the county? And I was told no. So I'm just letting you know, I am letting you know that I asked that and I asked more than one person there. But I'm letting you know that that's how broad that they've made this thing, so.
I get it, but the effects that the committee is gonna do to recommend the planning and zoning, it might affect somebody that then wants to come to you all and ask for, I'd rather be
By the
other
city limit,
than non-appointed.
that's what
Actually,
I do.
She's in the county.
I'm the county, I have nothing in the city limits.
no, that's not what I'm talking about. Just remember 102.17 for board of adjustment can't be on the boards or committees, so I don't know why we would kind of try to follow the same rule here.
I wouldn't raise my right.
This is much more informal.
Okay.
Yeah,
This is the official position.
that's what I was trying to say. This
So are you
morning,
volunteering? That's my question.
no, I'm just trying to show you that that was the vibe that I got. That even I asked, could I serve in this committee? And I was told that, yes, I could. I won't be taking an oath, right? And so I could, I wouldn't be holding to.
Well, like Cody said earlier, I think it's still gonna be the whole community can come and speak.
Oh, I will, but
So who are our two, commissioners that want to be on that?
Well, first off, would you like to do it? Okay.
Cody?
I don't think I wanna do it. I think that where I brought it up and we've had discussions in the past, that it's my best interest to let other people make the decision. What is, everything should be done. That way I have no impact.
I'm gonna pass it on to her. You read it.
Or you just.
Do any couple of you?
Oh, I am out because, one, I think you got a better person than I would ever be on any type of committee, so. Plus, we already argued enough at home. Now we're gonna argue over what she says next.
Megan or Kim, would you like to?
Like I mean, does it not move? I was gonna say, we're the only two, does it have to be two commissioners? Like you have to?
I mean, we can contact Holden and things could change. I'm just saying that.
But it looks better as us, as a commission, if you're gonna bring this
you
to
care about
the
it
town.
enough to participate in the
This should
community.
be kind of our rule of thumb whenever we do anything, it's two commission.
Yeah.
So I'll do it.
Yeah.
Right,
The only caveat would be,
there's our two.
Okay.
only caveat would be, if they bring something back, it has to be said in open meeting, then they can't talk to, you can't talk to me individually about it, or one of those two about it, or.
You can go to meetings as an assist.
But we're appointing them as members.
Yeah.
Right? That we're saying?
Of this committee that's gonna study the.
But anything's, and we can do as commission, as citizens.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have two,
Mhm.
Ashley,
Ashley. Ashley, Mr. Duncan, Ken and Megan and maybe Hunter. Hunter would be.
I know Mr. Jones reached out to me and was talking about it, doing it, but he's not here, so I can't.
Okay.
I was gonna say, since Cindy's not here, I kind of agree with that. It's great if Hunter wants to do it, but
Well, we can always put it on Facebook. too.
Like
That's
that,
your
yes.
election.
I mean, maybe, that'd be a good thing to explain what it is, because I've had people reach out, oh, we're just gonna go and change board, like, no, they're taking time to make committees and they're doing this, and that's probably a good thing for PR.
I've told people to contact the planning commission director. I would advise that they're the applicant.
All right, are we good there?
So we have four. So
So,
so we need two more.
Yeah.
Four more. Two more.
Yeah.
Whatever it says, I don't know.
Are you okay if they contact you, Robert?
Yes.
The interested parties, like if they're already, after maybe somebody's at home that sees this or something? Is that?
I think we still have to come back here and.
I'm asking.
We can't just let them on without us discussing.
He's a board chair.
it's just committee, we're not really appointing
Yeah.
anything, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we're saying who's gonna be on the committee, then.
He's a board.
That's why I'm like, I don't know why we're involved in who's saying who will be in charge and who'll be on, it's a committee, here's your committee, meet, I mean.
Well, then let Robert do it.
Robert's over then.
All right.
Well, I mean, the committee would probably decide, that's a, yeah.
I think they gotta answer
Be the right choice, yeah.
That's kind of what I was like,
The way I would see the chair of the committee, whatever you wanna call it, is that would be the spokesperson to come back and say, the committee has found these things, 1, 2, 3,
He's
and
a
give
great.
that to the commission. One thing I would be wary of is putting too many people on the committee,
Yeah,
because then you're never reach any kind of consensus. I would say 5 is an optimum number to work.
I like that.
so we need,
And if, if you just wanna have one commissioner on theirs,
you don't count. Yeah, you count.
Yeah,
maybe two count, you're part of the five.
we count the there, 2 more, and we both have 1.
What could be on there if he was there for, but.
But put it on the Facebook, you might have somebody that,
But the thing is, it's gonna be open discussion. We got 2 publicly, that meetings that we'll probably have to do at the school, because there'll be so much turnout, so. But planning and zoning is supposed to take care of that, and they're supposed to put it out if we.
publish it the dates.
So we'll need one more.
So,
What's the next meeting?
September 11th.
Yeah,
so I probably should brought this back in economic development when you mentioned license a little bit and about, kind of going into business talk. Just to put this out there, I was reached out to by owners of Commonwealth. And I don't think it was somebody on our commission, but just in case, I just want to put it out there in case it was. They were contacted by somebody who wants to put basically a junkyard up there. And they said that that person was saying they spoke to somebody and the city was okay with it. I don't want this to be like this over here where that couple came, we said, we had nothing at all, so. And I explained to Ms. Whitlock, no, man, you rent that property, that's yours, you lease it, you rent it, you control it, goes on there, not the city. As long as it's within.
she rents it?
No, she's not to that.
No, I mean, she rents that property?
If the right person goes to her, yeah,
No, she owns the property.
she goes to that property. No, it's been available for rent.
Where do we talk about?
Commonwealth Drive, the factories top of the hill, all that industrial park. Cause that's the thing, that's all zoned industrial, so it can't be certain things. But I'll tell you this about her, you may not know her, she's had a lot of good offers. One was for this company wanted to store chemicals, but she loves stand ground enough, she said, let me see your data sheets. She said, no, we're not gonna rent you like that, something like that here in our city that we love. And same with not putting a junkyard up there. So just to put it out there, I assured her, as far as I can't think of anybody on the commission would say to those people, yeah, you can have that up here if you can rent it from her. But maybe putting that out here on this too, we were just supposed to say that, well, no. That's
If you
not the
look
way to
at
do
the
things.
zoning map,
Not
that's
promise things to
zoned
people for
I1.
businesses that aren't true.
We're ready to go to forensic audit discussion.
Yes.
That's like a blast.
Let's open that up.
We'll, wait a minute, we'll get, I guess we'll send an email to planning and zoning, letting them know,
They can contact.
contact you and Ashley and you two, and we'll need one more, maybe, or more, whatever, but just, did anybody have your email?
it is RD. K,
You said D is in like dog?
D is in W,
Okay.
RD K9, number 505 .RD@gmail.
Ashley, you can give yours if you don't want.
I'm sure we can get.
We can get yours.
It's just my name, ashley.perry@me.com.
ASHLE1. No,
LEIGH.
LEIGH.
Ashley.perry@work. me.com.
Yeah, man. All right. Yeah, I just want to make sure that.
Forensic audit discussion. Anybody want to start that?
I think the most excellent thing was mentioned when Cody brought up, this will give us a starting point. Go back to zero. We should probably do 3 to 5 years, whatever the audit we put out there recommends.
How do we go about getting this? Is it something that we need to reach out to somebody?
This seems to be, I'd say reach out to any accounts, but I think, Madam Mayor said there companies go, I think it should be somebody we don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know stamping ground, they don't have a cousin here.
Any ideas on a formality for that? Or
No, I mean, other than the larger accounting firms and.
I wonder if KLC has somebody that they would recommend.
away from here.
They might, yeah. And then I wonder if auditors have like the bar association or maybe have like a listserv or something for auditors or accountants like that, CPAs,
Maybe. But, maybe KLC. Looks like,
KLC?
Yeah.
Okay, I can call them too.
They might have somebody in house that does it. That might be a service that we had.
Or going through, it might at least be some cheap rate.
You think anybody at the jail department?
The jails,
I bet they do.
How far back do we live in jail?
3 to 5.
3 to 5.
yeah, whatever they recommend, but I mean,
I would think 5 years at least would be probably what we need to look at.
Yeah.
5, 6.
Well, I think you go touchy 5 years ago with COVID, so.
How many years is the mayor's for, right?
Yeah.
So maybe 8,
Maybe
would
8
be 2
years.
terms, right?
Yeah.
I'm being realistic because,
Well, we're in the middle of a term. now,
right,
So if we went back
commission
8
would be
years.
2, right?
Yeah.
So to get the full scope of some full administrations, it would be 4-year terms, right? Is that right?
Yeah,
So
if we
8
went
years.
back 8 years, that would give you quite a bit.
And
I don't know.
it would, one thing, just remember,
7 years, we don't.
year multiplies cost.
I don't know if that's true.
On top of that, not just mayors, but we also go back, we go 8 years. 3 banks, that's gonna cost, when they have to dig through records.
I don't know if we have much.
No, I don't think so either, yeah. I'd be good with 8, just, it'd probably be asking.
I'd say we looked in,
We can talk to them about it
Kind of a
and
situation,
because we may not have nothing after 7 years.
I honestly was just speaking out loud, because I thought about the records situation, like it would be a good time for you all to clean out like anything older than that, cause like if it is 7 years, then that would be like a year extra. And then everything but after like it's 20 years and it's in the drawer, then it probably shouldn't be there. It's
exactly
like
what we talked about.
if it's like a car phone moment, the car phone doesn't matter anymore.
Talked about a working year cabinet and a previous year cabinet,
yeah.
nothing else.
That's opinion.
Any other thoughts or ideas on that?
Get it done.
Yeah. I'll call PLC tomorrow. Okay, anybody have anything else?
I forgot to say that I did reach out to, Vanessa, cause I've been looking into, it's where I got told there's a pothole. And I reached out to a company and then I was told about, we'd already spoken with him over Commonwealth. So I've been, like, I did reach out to Vanessa today. If there's another number of somebody that you've reached out to, that's fine. I can reach out to them too. But I'm gonna try to get the ball rolling. I'm gonna get the Commonwealth taken care.
I'm gonna send you the contacts that I have that was interested in the snow removal. as well. I don't know.
I think we need to do an RFP on that, and I'll have to apply through that.
I mean, that's fine too, but
And
I mean, I know it's August, but we probably need to go ahead
I
and get
was,
that
yeah,
done pretty
when
quick.
I talked to Royce, he said that we need to get, salt and stuff ordered before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gets cold because it gets hard. and
So
then
do
the
we
price-
have an RFP to put out for that?
No, I was talking to Zach about it, and we're gonna get
Okay.
it created over the next couple of weeks to get out.
we actually do have something if you want to add to it, to not reinvent the wheel wheel. Back when we did it last time, we created a thing that actually had on the back, it had every city street listed that they're required to clean. And at that time, the commission had added a couple of places, like we added to come out of the trailer court because they weren't cleaning and people were sliding out in the main street on the ice. But it says down on what we want and stuff.
If that's not our responsibility, then do we need to be billing her for that or,
Or calling code enforcement for her to get done.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
we're,
for
yeah,
safety, yeah.
But I mean, at the end of the day, it's.
No.
No,
Commonwealth is listed as a private job.
it's city streets.
I understand, I'm just letting you know that it's.
Joe Ford is the thing we did, the last resolution that has it on there.
You're right.
28.5 miles.
I'm just letting you know. it's listed.
I
I don't know if it's listed there, but DLG and that, Bluegrass ad, it's listed as street.
Plan.
Who has the, former, the thing you talked about? Is it something you could email me? It might be in my old Fisher email, I can look and see, but. Yeah, that'd be great to have.
It's smarter, not harder.
On the comments, they have the fire department up there, reaching out to the person you're able to be.
Fire department?
No, I talked to him. I was saying if you have anybody from the state, because I'm trying to figure out the best, like how we obtain those monies to get it done
Yeah,
before it's too late.
yeah, good deal.
What do you have?
So the meeting with the website people, ended up getting canceled. Dale and I were gonna attend, ended up getting COVID, ended up, other things. So I rescheduled for Wednesday at 3:00 this week. And once again, he's not gonna be able to go. So is anybody available Wednesday at 3:00 for the Q&A, or should I move it out again?
What is?
Cause I'm gonna Friday.
Sure, it goes everywhere.
Friday.
I know Dale's off Friday.
I'll check this.
That's not sure. Yeah, I don't know. They just came out to all that.
But he might not be scared me of the holiday week.
And
Are you available Friday?
Huh?
You available Friday?
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, yeah.
the website.
I'm off Friday too.
Yeah, oh, yeah, that's.
I'm off Friday.
You guys could do that.
If we can.
Yes, on Friday. I'm not gonna do it too, but focus. See if I can get it going. But I think the more people, the better.
Well, we have to watch.
We're not making any decisions.
Yeah, I don't still want to go out and talk.
You may have the questions that I know. The people.
Can I get a motion to adjourn? Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Thank you. I think everybody's first and somewhere. What would you? I mean, not to say, I don't work or something, but it does.